We're here in Utrecht, the Netherlands, for Syndicate 2017. Smash 4 Top 8 is starting soon. Give it up for the players, please. All right, so we started off with 338 players, and now only the cream of the crop remains. In winners, we've got Ken versus Gluttony. We've got Mr. R versus Ice Stunning, and in losers, we've got S1 versus Purple Age, and Scythe versus Quick. So now, we're gonna start off with the loser side of things. Coming up is the ever-confident, charismatic, love him or hate him, representing Team Calyptus is Purple Age! And for his opponent, one of my personal favorite players to watch, the Ness with the most tech skill. Representing Team BYOC, here's S1! All right, let's not waste any more time. We're gonna get right into it. I'm gonna give it over to the commentary, where you will be provided with nice commentary from Silent Doom and Ramses. Let's go.
Hello guys, and once again, welcome to Syndicate 2017, Top 8 for Smash 4 Wii U. My name is Ramses, and with me is the ever so lovely Silent Doom. And we're going to be starting off with a rematch from last year, S1 versus Purple Age.
Ness versus Cloud. Now, of course, Ness, well, S1 is the best Ness in Europe. He is absolutely fantastic, you know, constantly been at the top of the Netherlands PR.
Oh yeah.
And meanwhile, Purple H, incredibly strong Cloud from Germany, arguably the best Cloud in Europe as well. So this will definitely be a set to keep your eyes on.
Yeah, and S1, he's not only on the top of the Dutch PR, he's one of the most well-known Ness metagame innovators. With a character that was, for a long time, thought to be dead.
Yes.
In terms of development. But he brought some new life, got some new combos, some new up airs primarily, and from what I know, and I know him dearly, he's really stepped up his game preparing for Syndicate. So let's see how he does against Purple Age.
Meanwhile, of course, Purple Age, we see a lot of shield drop implementation coming from Purple Age. He's very, very good. His defense, most notably, is very, very strong.
Very patient player. Yep. And that is that Ness weakness, right? He's a strong character once he gets in. He can abuse his advantage state really, really well. But Cloud's keep away using those disjoints, that's just the best in the game, arguably.
Yes,
right?
Particularly when he has that limit on deck. He becomes so fast, it becomes so hard to catch him. And when he's just dancing all over your shield, you know, staying away from you as much as he needs to, it's very, very difficult for a relatively slow character like Ness to really get the jump on him.
Exactly. However, going back to the advantage state, Ness has an amazing advantage state, and that is something that you do need versus Cloud to abuse his biggest weakness, which is his offstage game, right? And that really is something that we're going to have to be focusing on in this set, because I know S1, for a while, he was really into improving his advantage game.
Yep.
He was looking at examples like Foe, and he saw like, okay, there's so much more I can get out of this. And he went a little overboard, I would say. His advantage game became the focus of his gameplay. And as of lately, he has taken some time to take a step back and go back to his neutral-focused, movement-focused playstyle.
Yes.
And that really is the S1 that I want to see. So, I already hear the pause sound. The fist bumps are exchanged. Looks like we're about to get in-game. Game 1. S1 versus Purple Age, Top 8 at Syndicate 2017.
Starting on Smashville, a favorite stage for S1, but for Purple Age as well. He does love to use that platform straight away, retreating to charge that limit.
So this is a double-edged sword for Cloud, because on one hand that platform is such a safe haven.
Yes.
But on the other hand, it is so easy to get Cloud off stage on this small area. And Purple Age so aggressive with his limit.
Wow, and he catches the double jump with a forward smash.
Oh, did you see that angle? And that was S1. His specialty, the ace pilot of the PK Thunder. Nice recovery, but he's not out of this disadvantaged situation yet. Purple H, he's planning to continue pushing this to the limit.
That said, though, S1 is playing without any sort of fear at the moment. He is challenging Purple H's attempts to hold that offense, to hold that advantage, and he's bringing this back bit by bit with that back air, taking stage control once again.
What a fast-paced start of this set, especially considering Purple H himself is just a very patient player. But I guess he's really done his homework, and as of recently, he's actually been working with Tails as a coach, and you can see it.
Ooh, the confidence is being exuded at the moment from Purple H. The preemptive taunt, almost getting the kill with a dash tag, the trump. Another one.
It's looking grim for S1 right now. He needs to get back onto the stage first and foremost.
Finds his way back.
Look at this patience! And that was a shield drop by S1. But it wasn't enough. Nice little blade beam there is going to beat out the landing. And Purple H immediately retreating back to the platform where he is going to have an easier time getting that limit back on deck.
Yeah, only 48% on Purple H at the moment. He has so much room to work with, but he's going to need to be careful once he's in that disadvantage.
Nice little landing option there by Purple H, and S1 just utilizing that platform and the down airs to enhance his movement, but the big disjoints are just coming through for Purple H, and he's going in. Once again, Purple H, the type of player, when he feels pressured, he retreats back, tries to, you know, get his stuff back together, and then use that calmness, that composure to go back in. A little bit of a tech error, but compensates nicely with the limit usage there. Purple H, he's not afraid to use his limit to make sure he doesn't die, pretty much.
Very excellent use of his empty jumps right there, tricking him into getting that grab and then finding that up air. S1 back in the game, only 78%.
Excellent kill there by S1, finding that non-disjointed up air through that slew of sword moves. That's just not easy, but S1 made it happen, and these are signs of life, and we need this. Purple H, on the other hand, he's looking to push his lead at forward smash. It's a little bit risky, but as you mentioned, he has the room to work with it.
Yes.
Limit back. Let's see how S1 deals with this.
Excellent power shield on the up air. Usually a very safe move.
Another taunt! Purple H.
He is just in the absolute zone at the moment.
And the way the reverse.
Still alive.
Wow. The back air. All right.
Incredibly precise, acute play coming out from Purple H that game. He was
so
in complete control.
Yep. Very well done by Purple H. And a little birdie told me something. S1, if he was to lose game one, we're going to see the cloud.
Yes, he was definitely considering that. It was looking very one-sided for Purple H. S1 wasn't able to really properly penetrate his defenses.
Yeah. And, you know, Purple H, even though his defensive core was extremely solid, there was still that offensive pressure constantly looming.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Those forward smash, I mean, he started the game pretty much off the bat, landing a forward smash. That sends a message, right?
Yes.
That definitely sends a message. And S1, let's see how he deals with that and responds. It is going to be the Cloud Ditto right here.
And we see the Gentleman's Limit right at the start.
Are we going to have the taunt as well? That's what I'm wondering. All right.
No, both dash straight in.
Okay, nice little combo right there. S1 has stage control here. But that is one of those things that Cloud is so good at. Regaining stage, using that movement and the big hitboxes as well.
That he is. Now, although S1 does not bring his Cloud out too often in tournament, it is a pretty refined one.
Woo. Refined is not good enough, and he fell out, but fell back in.
Still
My
alive.
guy, the RCO drift actually almost stopped him from recovering there, but he had the presence of mind to make it back with the little stall right there. And S1, I mean, he's not far behind, but at this percent, we're going to get off stage way easier than the opposing Cloud, right? And that is such a vital aspect to this matchup.
A little bit hasty on that limit Clim hazard, losing out his limit for it. And now off the stage. How will S1 be able to get the edge guard?
Ooh, didn't quite get it, but the corner pressure is real, and that is one of those things that's just so important. If you do feel the edge trap, you need to have that corner pressure on deck. And S1, he's pushing it, man.
Yeah,
Double limit once again.
Forced to expend it right there. And now Purple H once again in the driver's seat. missing out the punish of the belt forward air.
We've seen that work. We've seen the blade beam work, but not that time. S1 one step ahead and gets the kill. The dash attack striking through. And this is such a big deal. Cloud with Rage gets amplified, like his combos become a lot easier. While usually his strong combos really begin around the 30%. If he has Rage, they start way earlier. And just like that, the game's over.
What a swift turnaround coming out from S1. He kept it even that time.
Yeah.
You know, the difference in disjoint, the difference in range really, really helped S1 right there.
For sure.
The fact that he was able to actually contest a lot of what
Yeah.
Purple H was doing in neutral allowed him to really get back into the zone, get back into the game.
And we saw that Nair at the end. That was, I think it was on the untackable frames of the up B.
Most likely.
Meaning Purple H had no options left there. Very nice, very well done by S1 utilizing that weakness because, funnily enough, Cloud is one of the best characters at gimping Cloud.
Yeah. He does have his own huge hitboxes that are very, very difficult to contest for himself. Once again, starting off with that gentleman's limit.
Ooh. Oh, Purple H with the mix-up. And S1 taking a page out of Purple H's book there, actually. Kind of reminiscent of Game 1.
Oh no, the wind!
Oh! But Purple H did not quite make it there in time. Nice little rising up air and the up tilt. Nice convert. That was a solid combo right there. And
oh my finish by Purple H with that limit climb hazard off the top.
Talking about precision right there. Purple H knew it was the time. And that early limit usage has really been very hit or miss here in this set. It's quite interesting because you usually see Cloud hold on to that limit because, as I mentioned, that gimping is very easy for Cloud.
Yes.
So holding on to the limit is going to add that extra layer of security.
Not to mention, of course, Limit Cloud is an absolutely terrifying character thanks to those improved physics. But S1, even though he is at the deficit, he's doing a fantastic job racking up this damage.
And it's oh so important for him to get the stock because, as I mentioned, Cloud with Rage, so lethal in terms of damage dealt in combos.
And the way that these two are just kind of playing around each other's shields, playing around each other's defenses.
There it is.
It's so smart, so adaptable from each of them.
And this is a funny thing. You can almost call it Cloud advantage because S1, while he is behind on the percents, he does have his limit ready, which does grant a significant advantage when normally you would have the same tools. S1 now has a stronger kit available to him.
That he does. But gradually, bit by bit, as he's taking these hits, Purple H is building limit himself.
Very true. That is a comeback mechanic, and Purple H should be about to hit his limit.
Excellent pivot grab.
Ooh!
Excellent use of the limit blade beam to just relieve that pressure and get back onto stage. Rising excellent down air answer.
I'm 90% sure S1 was waiting for the airs there, but Purple H having none of it.
Yes.
Just hits right through with the disjoint. Very well done. And this is so tense. Let's see if S1 can get his jump read, and he barely dies. Purple H taking the lead by the skin of his teeth.
His usage of a limit blade beam throughout this set has been amazing.
Impeccable.
He's missed, I think, one?
Yeah.
Only one.
It was actually very innovative. You don't see that a lot.
It's that slight delay compared to the limit cross that you get from limit blade beam that really throws off the opponent's rhythm.
And it's not just a landing option, which we've seen him use it at most often. He also uses it as a jump read, right? Yes. And it requires such presence of mind to play the game and like keep track of your usual habits while also keeping track of those moments to shoot that blade beam. Because it requires an entirely different type of read to hit that blade beam on a jump.
That it does.
Look at this, the gentleman once more, S1 coming out swinging, and Purple H finds his way under S1.
These rising up airs are so crucial for Purple H, for both Clouds. So much damage just from up air, 51%.
And that is that limit fast fall coming in clutch for Purple H, because that fast fall is not only going to help him link more up airs together, it's also going to make his up air combo more easily. And, I mean, Purple H had a nice little string going there, but S1 has evened it up and even taking the lead right here. Very well done, the landing up air and another one sitting on limit right here and ready to blow on any read pretty much if he gets that limit cross slash.
And there it is! Impeccable timing.
Wow. Thank you. All credit to S1 though. Amazing, amazing reflexes there. That was not a read. That was coverage, my guy. That's ledge strapping at its finest. And that's something that we've seen S1 get a lot more mileage out in this set than Purple H.
Yeah, just the kind of the slight differences in how each cloud is better than each other, better or worse.
Yeah.
You know, we see this.
Oh, wow, what a read! The purple hard read coming through, and he falls out, and he makes it back! Purple H gets the kill as well, he's going all the way!
This is nuts. And now S1 looking on his final stock potentially of the tournament. He definitely needs to hold this lead and take this game if he wants to see more tournament life.
My goodness, this is already looking back to even.
Yes, S1 finally taking the lead.
Yeah.
Oh,
Purple H,
even.
exactly. And S1 striking back immediately with Purple H sitting on limit here. That's gonna be
Oh!
the duck chase finishing touch to close out the stock. Purple H.
What a spectacular finish coming out from Purple H.
Yeah.
He knows that that was a way to finish the set.
That was so well done. And we've seen the likes of Tweak implement that tech chase finishing touch before. But really no other cloud does that kind of stuff. Anyway, let's go to Zenji to wrap up that set.
Still a mic. Test. There we go. And that does it for our first match of top 8. S1 fought valiantly, but it was Purple H that came out on top. We'll be continuing loser sides, where unfortunately we'll be having a German team kill. But either way, one of them at least will go through. We've got representing Beefy Smash Dudes. Give it up for Quick! Where's Quick at? Where's my man Quick? Quick doesn't feel like playing yet, apparently. Quick, please. All right, anyway, let's just introduce the next player instead. We've got the best player in Germany. Give it up for Scythe! All right, now while we wait for Quick, I'm gonna throw it really quickly back to commentary. Let's go.
Coming up next.
And as a former Zero Suit Samus main, I have choice words for this matchup.
I'm pretty sure every Zero Suit does.
But I do know, I talked with Quick a little bit about the character, right? Because, I mean, we do share a lot of opinions on the character and how she works, which is unique because usually that doesn't really happen between Zero Suits. There's a lot of different perspectives on the character. But one of those things that Quick really dislikes about the character is that he often feels like he needs a secondary to make her work in top-level play. And Diddy is one of the reasons why.
Yes, that small size of Diddy, just the way that he's able to kind of prevent her neutral from being what it wants to be. The way that he's just able to play around the higher risk options of Zero Suit Samus, as well as even the more safe options, you know, because he's so small, it's harder for Zero Suit to time those neutral airs, to get those Zs, to control that mid-range. And of course, Diddy's speed allows him to work really effectively around Zero Suit's pressure and offense.
Oh yeah, and I think that's an often understated thing. Diddy is a fast character.
Very fast. Not only is he fast, he has an incredibly good foxtrot. It's so low commitment.
Oh yeah.
And his walking speed is very, very solid.
Fun fact, actually, his foxtrot leaves him quote-unquote aerial. It actually lifts his hurt box slightly, which means he can foxtrot over his own bananas.
Nuts.
That's just silly.
Yeah,
that's bananas. No, but low-hanging fruit aside, one thing that I do like about Quick is that he's always trying to find new ways to work around his character's weaknesses. So while Diddy has those auto-crouch moves like forward air and side B, you can get those pivot grabs. You can get those reads on the move that the opponent is going to use afterwards, right? So the fact that she can even grab, and that it is such a high risk getting hit by that, means that people will, I mean, obviously people will react in certain ways, and a good Zero Suit main will keep a hawk's eye on the option that people take in those pressure situations and respond in kind. We've often seen Nairo get those down smashes on what seem like the most random rolls in the world, but he's watching. He's looking for him.
Yeah, that's exactly what really defines the best Zero Suit players. Their ability to observe and capitalize on those huge punishes, rather than playing a sort of oppressive, very low commitment neutral. You know, they're all about going in when they find those big opportunities.
And already Scythe scouting out the short hop. Oh, I think.
Do we have potential control
Yeah, we have a
issues?
controller issue right there. All right, so one thing that is interesting from the get-go is the Smashville pick. Because while Smashville is usually pretty decent for Zero Suit, I feel like in the Diddy matchup you need a lot of room to play around Diddy's tools. So while Smashville can be great for those early kills, get those upbeats that normally wouldn't have killed, it can also be a curse in that regard.
On the other hand, of course, Diddy Kong isn't going to want to go to those tri-platform stages or Town and City. Meanwhile, Zero Suit isn't going to want to go to FD because that is such a strong Diddy Kong stage naturally. So,
but on the other hand, we have seen some Zero Suits as of late take more of a liking to Lilith, whereas historically, Zero Suits have really disliked the stage. The guarantee that there will be at least one platform in your combo is such a boon to her game and her conversions in general.
Yes.
Anyway, let's get back into the game. Scythe versus Quick, game 1 in losers of top 8. Loser gets 7th. And these players play all the time, man. They're the number 1 and the...
Oh no, that is a tragic way to start off the set.
That's a quick death.
Very, very quick. Let's see if Quick is able to get back into this.
Okay, so more important than the outcome of this game for Quick is, can he keep his mental composure? Can he turn the switch back on and you know, make sure that he doesn't dwell on that unfortunate event, because that happens.
Yes, it does. But he's already off to a fantastic start.
Oh, wait, that should be it! Wow! That a lead is not a lead, my guy! That was impeccable. Quick, just using that platform. I mean, he was watching, right? The platform was there as he started his combo, and he knew, if I wait here, I can get the reset. While normally, if the platform wasn't there, he wouldn't have been able to, right?
Yep.
Quick, amazingly done right there, and he's back in the game. That must be such a boost to the mental state of Quick right now.
That said, though, Scythe, you know, he's still an absolutely fantastic player. We know his ability to kind of cripple his opponents in the neutral. Even though Quick was able to play that fantastically explosive stock, Scythe is still in the lead.
Yeah, and the lead it is. For Zero Suit, it can be very hard to work around these mid percents if you do not get the early kills. Yeah.
Not enough just yet.
And now we are leaving the upbeat percents. I think it was a little misinput by Scythe right there. Ooh, nice upbeat covering the entire ledge, and that's actually one of those little unknown techs that Zero Suit can do. You know, that upbeat active for a long time can cover a lot of space around the ledge.
Yes, very active, and it has a huge hitbox as well, especially in front of her.
Ooh, nice little back air, and once again, Quick. I mean, once again, for the first time this set, he's in the lead.
Yes.
Down tilt, up smash! Ooh, nail biter right there.
Yes, an excellent power shield coming out from Scythe, really able to clutch it in that final moment and get that kill.
And that really shows off how often these players play together, because he knows Quick's timing, and that's how he got that power shield, managed to get the down tilt into the up smash. And, you know, Zero Suit, a lot of kill power, but very frail herself, right?
Yes,
very much a glass cannon.
One of the lightest characters in the game.
Yeah, yeah. And being a fast follower doesn't do her many favors in that regard either.
Susceptible to a lot of combos.
For sure, for sure. All right, game 2, Town and City. And we actually have one ban, MDSR, but the triplats are separated. So rather than going for one of the triplats, Quick has decided to go for Town and City, which is, I mean, that's a possibility. That's something you can do if you want to. It does give you, like I mentioned before, it gives you a little bit of extra room to work with first Diddy. On the other hand, Diddy's kill confirms are also very, very vertical.
Yes.
So you're not only boosting your own kill power, you're also doing Diddy a favor.
Wow, what a monkey flip coming out from Scythe right there. Meteoring him back on the stage. Another excellent demonstration of movement right there.
Did you see that?
Reversals.
He just crawled away slowly and hugged his face. Diddy, that was
something else. For that one grab coming out from Quick.
Not quite gonna be able to push it through to the end, though. A little bit of a misjudge. I mean, if that was 1% different, it would have been a whole nother story. But at the end of the day, that is I mean, it's a game of inches, right? You can
Yeah.
be off by 1%, and that can be the game for you with players of this caliber.
Players of this caliber, and with the naturally volatile nature of Smash 4, you know,
Oh, yeah.
including stuff like Rage, of course, but
And then especially Zero Suit herself, right? She is has a lot of kill power when she has the angry face on, but not right there. Scythe saying, no, no, no. Get this up smash and on to your last stock for this game. Quick taking a second to recollect his thoughts. And what do you think Quick has to do here to make this happen?
he's got to work. He's going to find a way to work around Scythe's crazy erratic movement at the moment.
Oh,
Scythe
yeah.
is kind of dancing around him in neutral, and that's really what's holding Quick back from getting anything started. Finally finds his way in with a dash attack. He can't really capitalize too heavily off it.
Ooh. Nice little cross up right there. Gets the down angles forward tilt, just a little bit of damage and advantage state, trying to get some more, but Diddy's just so safe. And Scythe making excellent use. Ooh!
Hits him with, look! Oh my goodness! I thought we were going to see something crazy right there, Ramses.
I mean, that edge cancel is crazy in my book. Ooh, almost got the Zair right there, but no Indiana Jones for use. Quick. And you saw that right there. Scythe got the landing forward air, and rather than directly punish it, Quick went for the option afterwards with the dash past. But I know I'm saying this a lot, but it really shows that these two players have played a lot, because rather than give it to Quick, Scythe waited and saw, and he was looking for the way Quick was going to respond.
Yeah, the advanced reads that we're seeing from both of these two players, the way that they're kind of preemptively going for certain commitments, certain options to try and cover what they would usually see as each other's habits, has just been so back and forth. That was a very, very fortunate pop gun right there.
But I'm pretty sure that was Scythe's plan all along. Down tilt pressure, Quick using that amazing forward roll to set up some pressure, but it's not going to be enough to penetrate Scythe's defenses. And he really needs to get that critical momentum going if he wants to not give this away.
Yeah.
Because he's in kill percent for pretty much any Diddy setup at this point. And we already see Scythe throwing out some back airs rather than forward airs to try to close out the game. Nice little power shoot right there. Quick, he's still in it.
Very, very close with that grab. That might have been the grab that he really, really needed. Good up tilt.
Ooh, Quick. Using the down smash on the banana to prevent Scythe from picking it up. But Scythe,
misspacing that down smash and getting punched for it by
no,
Scythe.
that wasn't a misspace. That was, the intention was to hit Scythe as he was going to pick up the banana.
But Scythe instead waited.
Exactly. He was one step ahead of Quick, and that is, once again, one of those things that you notice when two players play a lot. You see those kind of interactions that seem weird, but make a lot of sense when you see the context behind them.
Everything requires a little bit of perspective.
Exactly. And I mean, with these German players, they're so strong. It's not just the fact that they play a lot; they also push the matchup to new limits outside of like the usual suspects that we see in America, right?
Yes.
Here we go, game 3, Scythe on the brink of victory. And Quick needs to pull something out real quickly. Not going to tri-plat once again. He figures Town City. He can probably make it work if he just if the adaptation that he has probably planned for works out for him. Grab attempt right there, but Scythe just rolling behind. That's one of those things that Zero Suit has a lot of issues with.
Oh, he gets the Z-drop banana into the down air spike. This is looking rather bleak for Quick at the moment.
Well, I mean, that was an angel drop, but that was the Grim Reaper for Quick. No life left for him. And Quick, I mean,
he has to work a miracle if he wants to take this game and really get himself back into the set. We saw glimpses of that in that game 1.
Oh yeah,
that
for sure.
Incredibly explosive stock. Will we see something like that
Oh,
again?
That was my favorite Zero Suit tech. He did a down throw, and on the eye away, rather than go for normal up airs, he did a dash raw up air to mix up the DI, and only Nairo does that. I'm so happy to see Quick implement that. That was so pretty. And he's just taking a lot of momentum away from Scythe here, and let's see how far he can push that, because he got a lot of work to do here. Nice little delay on the trump, but Scythe, he was just He was ready for it. And the
a little bit, extending a bit too far with that dash grab, tripping on that banana, of course. Way up, be out of shield. Not enough just yet.
Ooh, that neutral air that is going to combo and almost gets the second up air. First the angel drop and then almost getting the stairway to heaven.
It's like walk through quick shield from Scythe.
Yeah, Scythe is, he's walking all over him. As you mentioned before, his erratic movement. I mean, walking.
Oh my goodness, that was some
oh my lord.
intergalactic DI coming out from Quick. That was
Pat GDI, the zero suit is in him. But yeah, that's a shame for Quick. We definitely saw some great moments coming out there. And even game 2 when he had all that rage and Scythe was at low percents. I mean, that was one grab and it was lights out.
Yeah.
Anyway, very nice set. Zenji, please continue onwards.
Test. Okay, sorry about that. We're back live. Okay, and facing off against this opponent, the best player in France, the best to do it at Wario. How is this man also not sponsored? Give it up for Gluttony! All right. Let's get right to it.
Ken versus Gluttony. Sonic versus Wario. Now, comparative to the previous game, the previous set, this is a matchup that is a lot more uncommon. Not only are there very few Sonics in France, there are also very few Warios, top-level Warios, in Japan.
Well, in the world.
Yeah, in the world.
But actually, Japan, I think, relatively to the rest of the world, they do sport a lot of Japans. A lot of
Warios.
A lot of Warios, thank you. Nasubi comes to mind, especially.
I feel, has he been playing Wario as much lately? I feel like he kind of turned off the character a little while ago, and so we haven't really been seeing much in terms of representation of Wario in the Japanese scene.
True. On the other hand, their Wi-Fi is very advanced, and you know, getting those games in just for the sake of matchup experience that's very easy for Japanese players to request. Anyway, is this going to be a little bit of a button check? I think so.
Quick button check.
Anyway, this is winner's top 8 right here, and are we going into it? Yeah, it looks like no. I think Ken is just chilling. Nice little Fusu combo that is by now Gluttony's specialty. Winner's semi, Scamper's Gluttony. And
well, if he pulls that off, if he pulls that full combo off in a match situation, I will be shocked. We've seen Gluttony get the partial confirms.
Gluttony, my guy, what are you doing? You're playing your hand way too early. But yeah, one of the things about Wario as a character is that he has like surprisingly decent matchups versus top tiers. Sonic especially, because Sonic, I mean, you're from the UK, you have a lot of Sonic experience.
Yes.
I have my fair share of Sonic experience as well. The thing with his spin dash is that it is negatively disjointed, which basically means that his hurt box is larger than his hitbox. That means that it will always lose out to bite.
Yeah.
And having bite as that tool to deny spin dash is going to be a big deal. What are your thoughts on this matchup in general?
Well, in addition to that, of course, Wario typically is a character that struggles with a lot of range, but Sonic doesn't have that. And so being able to use his fantastic aerial mobility, he can use his pretty good frame data on moves like forward air, as well as the bike to pressure from a distance. He can kind of weave in and out and around potentially the spin dash attempts coming out from Ken.
Oh yeah, and that's one thing. Like Wario, he might be slow on the ground, but his airspeed is, I mean, it's up there. And that maneuverability is going to do so much versus a fast character like Sonic.
Yes.
On top of that, Wario is, I mean, he's a heavy guy.
Very, very. pretty heavy indeed.
That is going to be a big boon versus Sonic. Sonic just nickel and diming Gluttony here.
Yeah, so many grabs coming out from Ken already. 64 pretty much just off of those grabs. Now we're seeing Ken play it very sort of reactive to what Gluttony is doing. Just waiting for him to commit to some kind of option, whether it be movement or an attack, and punishing accordingly.
The thing that's interesting is that Ken waits just a little bit longer than he needs to, which gives him it opens up new possibilities for him. So, for example, what we just saw was Gluttony. He jumped in the air trying to bait out and then whiff punish a move, right? Ken waited for the jump. Then Gluttony saw that he was waiting and figured, I need to double jump to make myself safer. Then Ken waited some more, and then when Gluttony was all out of resources, that's where Ken strikes. And it just blows my mind that he has the patience and the presence of mind to be like 2 or 3 steps ahead, knowing that these resources are so important.
Of course, another defining thing about Ken's gameplay are those jump reads with those back airs. He's so good at landing them against literally everybody.
I think the dynamics in this matchup are pretty interesting, actually. Like, while Wario's an aerial character, Sonic gets his kills by you going...
Ooh, very, very close with that waft.
Yeah.
Shame that he's expended it already, so he's going to have to...
Forward smash! That's gonna do it!
Oh my goodness, max range forward smash killing at 51%!
Heavy boy! Heavy boy! That is gonna do it. Gluttony up the first stock in this game 1. And Ken, I mean, that's exactly what I was talking about. He waits for resource 1, resource 2, use your bike, here's the grab. See you later, sir. You're not gonna take it that easily.
Yes, no lead for you, Mr. Wario.
And that's one of those things, talking about leads. Usually Sonic really loves having that lead because that means he doesn't have to approach. His approaches are admittedly pretty lackluster. However, Wario, that pressure, that fart just passively puts on the opponent means that even Sonic with a lead is forced to put pressure on somehow.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting how Ken is doing that because he's not committing. He's taking away stage, making you scared without actually confronting you. And it's all up to Gluttony being able to figure that out and, you know, being that one step ahead.
Yeah, the combination of Ken's reactive play alongside his overall conditioning is just what allows him to get that edge over his competition.
Oh, yeah. And having played versus Ken in doubles myself, amazing conditioning for sure. And the thing with Ken is when he knows he has that conditioning on point, he's not the type of person who adjusts his coverage only to match his conditioning. No, he will punish you hard for doing the wrong thing.
Yes.
He's not afraid to call you out for that. And that is what, you know, that's one of the qualities that you need to be the best player in Japan.
That is indeed true. Now, I'm liking what Gluttony is doing here, though. He's being pretty patient in where he's committing to his options and how he's landing. Full waft back online once again. Excellent catch on the jump once again with these back airs.
And where will he find the fart? Now that it is fully charged, a falling down air, a fast fall down air, will not combo into fart anymore because fart, well, half charge is 4 frame. Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, that was just a really good jump catch by Ken once again.
That was excellent. I mean, Gluttony that time didn't even commit to a jump, so I feel like after having conditioned him for so long to want to expend that jump, that time he's like, you're not going to jump here, and he just picks it out perfectly.
Exactly. It's funny how Ken is so methodical, yet so unpredictable at the same time. It's very, very impressive. But as I was talking about, one of those things that is really, you don't really know it unless you have Wario experience, right? His half fart is frame 4, which means it will combo very easily off of, for example, fast fall down air. Meanwhile, his fully charged fart is frame 8, while the super armor starts at frame 5? 4
or 5? Yeah.
I think it was 4.
It's very quick.
Yeah, exactly. So, watching the timer.
Oh, here we go. Excellent awareness to go for the neutral air to combo into the back air instead of going for another forward air to try and lock.
That was excellent awareness from both parties. Ken DIing off stage rather than going further to the mid stage, and Gluttony adjusting his combo to the DI.
Wow! Oh my goodness! What? That wheelie hitbox, so absurdly strong. I've never seen it kill that early like that before.
And that is riding dirty, my man.
Catching them riding dirty indeed.
Gluttony must be feeling good about that one because having that lead versus Sonic, that's going to do him a lot of favors in this matchup.
Oh, but this time Ken coming out with his own footstools, but not able to capitalize in the way that Gluttony is.
Ooh. Nice little bike to land as well. Threw it down for the maximum damage. Look at the percentage on Ken.
Jumping up all the way to 53 and another 66%.
My goodness. And that was one of those things, like, I never thought about it that way, but you know how Diddy versus Sonic uses those bananas to deny space? That's exactly what Gluttony is doing using the bikes. He's denying all the space using the bouncing bike. That's so intelligent by Gluttony.
And of course it is a little bit slower than the banana because he has to do the heavy throw animation. And of course, banana on the ground itself doesn't have a hitbox, but still the presence of all that the concept and that potential damage coming out is so high.
Alright, Gluttony, he just needs that one fart now to make this happen, and to be...
there it is!
Did you see that setup? Did you see it? Let me explain that real quick, my man.
I know what he went for.
He put that bike on the edge to extend the fart hitbox, and the fart actually hits below the ledge, allowing him to 2-frame Sonic all the way into the blast zone. Gluttony, he was like 10 steps ahead with that setup. Holy moly.
And you see that relatively often. You know, most Warriors will set that bike up on the ledge just to apply that level of pressure. But of course, coming out with the waft to extend its hitbox and get that 2-frame, that is what helps set Gluttony above the rest. He is so good.
Oh, did you see the trap? He forced the double jump with the up air and then used the bike to cover the rest of his options. There was nearly nothing Ken could do there, but you know, Ken, he's no slouch. He's ready to strike back. It's quite interesting that he's going to Battlefield, but I mean, I know X is a big proponent of Battlefield for Sonic. Can you explain to the audience why?
Well, it really augments the way that Sonic is able to move across the platforms. A Sonic like Ixis in particular, he's all about how he moves like that. Ken, his movement isn't quite the same, but the way that he's able to apply the pressure and move around the platforms to help his landings, to help make his his moves a lot safer, really just, I guess, is really defining for Sonic.
It shines through. I mean, we've seen it so far. He's just using those platforms to mitigate his, Sonic's juggle weakness, right? And that really is one of those things that you want out of a stage, either accentuate one of your strengths or compensate for one of your weaknesses.
Yes, exactly.
And in this case, especially since he's been killing with Beckers primarily, he doesn't really need the vertical kill power. That's something like Town and City would add.
Yeah. Right, and once again, we see these jump reads coming out from Ken, but good awareness from Gluttony, just the way he's using his double jumps in this game. What an aggressive play coming out from Gluttony right there. He was not scared at all of that potential air dodge read up air, and instead answers back with his own brutal half-charge waft.
That waft was impeccable.
Ooh, very close.
And Ken, I mean, I think Ken, right now he's just one step behind the level that Gluttony is playing on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you talk about Yomi layers right here, Ken is waiting for those air dodges. Ken is looking for those jumps. But Gluttony, he's adapted, and now it is Ken's turn to counter-adapt. I mean, he's been sitting on a great lead. But when you get killed early, it's not going to matter.
151%. Wario is once again sitting on max rage. If he's able to get a footstool set up and allow that Waft to charge a little bit more, that'll be the end of Game 3.
Oh, did you see that? That was slick. But Gluttony lives.
Those large horizontal blast zones of Battlefield. Another fantastic run under pivot grab. Stale back throw, though, still alive.
DJ Khaled with another one right there, and waiting for the air dodge. He did get the weight right there, and
but the neutral air finally taking it out.
Gluttony, very smart, waiting to spring out right there. Didn't get to wait it out long enough, unfortunately.
And both players just kind of returning to a lot more tentative neutral. They don't want to overcommit too hard, particularly since Gluttony does have, I would say this is a big lead. This is a scary situation for Ken. If he trips up once, he could lose his stock. Even that half charge Waft is incredibly powerful, and as time goes on, it does exponentially build. You know, that Waft charge, full charge isn't actually the strongest. It's just before full charge where it's at its most powerful. But we have the full charge online once again.
Oh, get that bike set up once again because he has the full Waft, and that did not work out, and that is to Ken's credit. He saw it once. Doesn't fall for it again.
Very smart by Ken, weaving around the setup this time. And now Ken bringing it back bit by bit. Slowly but surely, he is closing this lead that Gluttony was able to create for himself.
Ooh, the bike does get interrupted. I mean, Gluto had the right read, he just didn't have the right... It wasn't the right situation, I guess.
A little bit off on, I guess, how he wanted to time that bike.
And that is one of those things that Sonic has going for him. Because of his speed, his approaches might not be amazing. But because of his speed, he gets nearly infinite timing mix-ups. And calling out those timing mix-ups, it's just really hard. So you gotta find other ways to play around his kit. And that's exactly what Gluttony is doing with that bite. When that lasts that long, timing is not much of an issue, is it now?
Ooh, tries to go for the up smash, a little bit too hard of a commitment. Now Gluttony once again with this setup. Ooh, still hits the bike anyway on the upcoming. An excellent punish. Coming out once again with that half charge Waft. Even though he had expended it before, he was still so aware of the timing, how long it had been since the previous Waft, and he was able to get it. Now, Gluttony sitting on a potential winners finals.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, that fart, that final fart, he caught a shield drop there. That is the hardest of reads. That's like 7 frames to go to work with. That is not easy. But Gluttony pulled it off. That is just, it's just blowing my mind that he's on that kind of
mental level.
Yeah, that awareness is just out of his world. And even Gluttony himself taking a deep sigh. That's such a hard-fought game, right?
That is really, this is a fantastic position for Gluttony to be in. He has, even if he loses the next game, he does have that counter pick advantage once again.
Well, we do work with DSRs, so he
won't be able to go back to FD.
Exactly. That's important.
The other really interesting thing about this set is that Ken himself is an incredibly consistent player.
Oh, yeah.
He is not one prone to upset. So if Gluttony gets this win, gets this upset, this would be absolutely monumental for both players, for the scene in general. It would be spectacular.
However, Gluttony, I mean, he does have that game going, you know, he's up 2-1. On the other hand, Ken, I mean, if you compare Game 2 to Game 3, that was a remarkable improvement for Ken.
Yes. Yes.
And if that trend continues, it's not looking good for Gluttony. So let's see how Ken adjusts, because Gluttony has used a lot of his setups now. He has shown that he is not one to air dodge stupidly. I think all the cards are on the table by now.
Yeah.
And it's all up to the adaptation, the mind games, and of course the understanding of not only the characters, but also the stage, the game mechanics, etc. that these two players exhibit.
Yeah. What we're going to see is a very sort of raw Game 4 played on our very, very raw stage, being Smashville.
Exactly.
Excellent spacing around that forward air to catch the chomp. He'll be fine.
Wario always recovers, gets 2 bikes, 1 on the ground, 1 in the air. Up air to back air, nice little combo from Ken. Oh, he actually had the read right there, but a little bit slow on the trigger.
Yeah. That back air, as good as it is from Sonic, is a little bit slow. One of the slower ones in the game.
Yeah.
To compensate for its power and, of course, those active frames. Ken, oh my goodness.
We're good, Ken.
Yeah.
Ooh, and he keeps falling for it. I know I saw Gluttony go for those bites at the start of the set, but they just didn't really work out for him. But as of late, all the bites have just been connecting, and it's been an amazing tool for him in this matchup. Nice little early cancel on the bite. He can hold that to make the hitbox stay out longer.
Yep.
But recognizing that Ken was not gonna bite.
Now, we, of course, have seen this situation previously in this set. Gluttony working at this deficit, but he's able to get these clutch plays.
And look at this pressure, my guy. That down air can 2-frame, but Gluttony just a little bit off there. That up B from Sonic is obviously very, very fast. Nice little back air. Gluttony, very, very high percentage here.
Yeah, 126 to 66. Yeah. Good landing on the down air, but not able to get anything off of it. Ooh, catches the roll in with the spin dash. This is going to need to be careful now.
Luto re-catching the bike.
Air dodge. Very, very close.
And that is the worst thing that can happen for Ken. Not only does he show his cards, they don't work either.
Yeah.
So now Gluttony knows, and he didn't get punished for it. So he gained that information for free. Ken, that was a dance with death for Gluttony right there.
He's been very, very close, but this back throw should be enough.
Wow.
There we go.
Ken is so good at finding those.
And it's just because he's been so aware of when Gluttony has been jumping in neutral, just to be able to run underneath and get those pivot grabs.
Those jump reads really are...
Oh, he does it again! He does it again!
And Ken, he recognized the setup, decided to go high, but Gluttony was like, no, sir, I got the next level of adaptation here. And Ken, I mean, he's got momentum right here, though.
48%. And this airspeed from Wario has been so helpful from in terms of allowing him to get around Ken's normal traps with the spin dash.
That is true. But to make use of the airspeed, he has to jump. And when he jumps, Ken is there.
Yep.
It's such an intriguing little mind game that they play with the aerial space.
Such an intense dynamic between these two players.
And I mean, looking at these percents, I mean, Sonic does have that. Is
that
that
really
down
excellent
air.
catch?
Nice little bite right there. Not gonna work. Once again, early cancel. And the spring has been working out great for Ken. I mean, if anything, it's just gonna shield poke Gluttony's shield because, as far as I'm aware, he's not tilting his shield upwards to prevent the shield poke.
Ooh, very clutch spring coming out from Ken right there.
That was so close.
This is terrifying for both
Ken,
players.
Ken going for the pivot grab again, but Gluttony was ahead of the game. Nice little combo with the neutral air there, and the footstool by Ken into the spring. That was actually a combo of all things.
Oh, so close with that!
That is normally a combo!
But it didn't work out that time.
Gluttony.
Re-grab the ledge, stuck under.
No stage
no
spike.
punish.
No punish.
Oh! Catches that bike so perfectly. He waited a little bit longer past the jump and instead catches him above the bike. 2-2.
My word. Oh.
This set has been absolutely nutty from both players so far.
And Gluttony really showing what he's made of. Ken, the best player in Japan. Gluttony, outside of Mr. R, the best player in Europe. And I mean, it's showing. It is definitely showing the way these guys adapt to each other. It's just, you can almost taste it.
It's ludicrous. It's absolutely insane.
Let's get into game 5. Winner semis. Ken, the 2nd seed, and Gluttony, the 3rd seed, meeting here at Syndicate 2017. Town and City.
I believe actually in this tournament, Ken is the 1st seed above Mr. R, one of the few European tournaments where Mr. R is not the 1st seed.
You might be right, actually. Yeah. That's my bad.
All right, now, of course, you know, these tighter boundaries have given Gluto access to even more explosive kill power, but the amount of space that he's given Sonic to move around and just kind of dance around him,
I'm
definitely made a
already
difference.
Noticing that Gluttony is playing a lot more button heavy than he has been last couple of games. He's just constantly chasing Ken, and it's not working out. Ken, I mean, he's happy to dance around you using his speed and invincibility. Meanwhile, Gluttony, when he's chasing like that, he just doesn't have the burst range to make it happen.
Yeah.
And Ken, he's just taking full advantage of the way Gluttony is playing right now.
Yeah, unable to land a hit so far, Gluttony.
Yeah, this is Ken, man. I mean, he's finally showing his true form. This is scary.
91% unanswered, 96 now. Gluttony needs to find something.
Okay, we're on the board. That's step 1. If you can deal damage, you can take a stock. If you can take a stock, you can take a game.
Ooh, the double reversal. A little bit off the mark. Once again, with that run
again,
under.
That's been the clutch, man. I mean, it's not easy to kill Wario, but when you can get those back throws for free, that definitely is a boon in this matchup for Sonic. Nice little landing back air that does have a surprising amount of range. And the fart is on deck. We're already 2 minutes in, ladies and gentlemen. And Ken, with a commanding lead right here, but Gluttony, he's looking to make the fart happen. Look at him. He's just trying to get the whiff to happen. And if Ken is too reluctant to do anything, the bite comes through, or the dash attack comes through, and he can set up that advantage state.
Good stuff from Gluttony right there. He's staying a little bit more grounded now, it seems. Doesn't want to commit too hard. Wow, and he still runs in with a pivot grab. Is that going to be the stock? Ooh. Not enough just yet. Still barely able to survive.
We've seen that so often now, including Black Thunder, in just this set. And Ken, I mean, this would be a tragic way to go.
Oh, that was so good. That was
talking about dancing around Wario. That was the definition of dancing around Wario, making the back air happen. Such exquisite movement from Ken coming through.
Catches jump off the bike immediately with that back air, and Ken is just in complete control at the moment. Gluttony, even in what seems to be openings.
The infinite timing mix-up I was talking about right there. And that is Ken finally showing why bite is not going to work anymore.
Bite has to close at some point, but spin dash does not. The key difference coming out right there.
And that, the catch coming through, and the bike setup. Ken going high once more, doesn't get caught this time for it. Nice little bike, but the spring is going to help Sonic get out of that sticky situation.
The evasive gameplay, the defensive gameplay coming out from Ken.
That's not safe, my guy. That's not safe, and Ken, he's there with the back air. And Gluttony just couldn't handle the Game 5 adaptation that Ken pulled out of his hat.
He definitely started to run out of steam. He wasn't able to catch Ken in those situations where it looked like, you know, Ken had maybe made a mistake, but he was just so able to work around everything that Gluttony had to offer. But moving back on to our MC,
Zanji, take it away.
Check, check. There we go. Now that's a heartbreaker if I've ever seen one. But still, Gluttony will have a chance in losers. Give it up again for both players. But now we've got coming up the second side of winner semis. Probably the most anticipated game, at least for this crowd. We've got on the one side, defending his title from last year, Syndicate 2016, representing Beast Coast, Mr.
Arr!
And for his opponent, actually the TO of this tournament, defending the home turf even more than Mr. R is doing. I want to see some OS frogs in chat. Give it up for the one and only Studying! All right, well then get prepared. We're gonna throw it back to commentary. Up to you, Silent Doom and Ramses.
Once again, we see these two meet in bracket time and time again throughout various Netherlands tournaments.
Every Netherlands tournament with Mr. R in attendance needs to have an Ice Studying versus Mr. R set in it for sure. And I mean, a frog versus a pirate. That's if we were to believe ZG. It's part of the eternal discussion, right? Ninjas or pirates? I'm hashtag Team Ninjas for sure. But
Sheik's definitely a ninja.
yeah. But
Easily.
Mr. R, I mean,
but Mr. R, Beast Coast, on the coast,
yeah, he's
that pirate.
he's robbing it. Anyway, always a good set. Ice Studying versus Mr. R. I actually had the chance to interview Mr. R after the last Avalon, and I asked him to comment a little bit on the set. I mean, on the player matchup, Ice Studying versus Mr. R. And one of the things that he really enjoys about playing Ice Studying is that Ice Studying always finds a way to scare him.
Yeah.
You know, he takes that one game with like the shadow sneak off stage or the up throw up air 50-50, and then he takes that other game, and then suddenly it's pretty scary because Greninja kill power can always turn a match around.
Yeah, particularly against a very fragile character like Sheik.
Oh yeah.
Once, if Sheik isn't able to get that kill and Greninja's sitting there with all that rage, you know, those rage forward airs, those rage
Down
shadow
tilt
sneaks
setups.
down,
Yep.
down tilt into up smash is incredibly powerful coming out from Greninja.
For sure. Right, and we're just getting the match set up right now. These are two Dutch players, and as we've mentioned, they play a lot. So,
Yes.
similar to the Scythe versus Quickset, we're going to see a lot of things that might seem a little weird at first glance, but they actually make a lot of sense.
Yes,
and
those slight player nuances that wouldn't really make sense considering the matchup in a conventional sense, but because these two have played each other so much, played each other for so long, you know, they know each other so well.
Exactly. And we're getting right into game one.
Ooh, that very one-sided, very one-sided voting for Mr. R. Understandably, to be honest, considering
he is Europe's finest.
Yes.
And Ice Studying, we already see his mastery of the Sheik matchup. Gets that advantage state, and rather than try to push it directly, he takes that center stage to discourage Mr. R from using bouncing fish to get out of this advantage freely.
Yes.
Right? And those kind of little optimizations are very, very important, especially against a character like Sheik, where you need to take every hit you can get. Needles charge, and of course, both of these characters are ninjas, both of these characters are fast, both of these characters...
What? Oh! Barely grabs the ledge, Mr. R. His life was on the line right there, and he barely was able to take it back.
That was a lucky break for Mr. R, I would say, but at the end of the day, that is an important aspect of getting that W, right?
Yes, absolutely. It's interesting to see the way that Ice Studying, of course, with Greninja, he does have sort of inferior frame data, so it's a bit more difficult for him to play reactively versus Mr. R. So the way that he's trying to defend versus Mr. R. And it's enough! Rage upend at the top of the screen.
And that
excellent
is
stuff.
One of those things, one of those Greninja things. He doesn't have that many true kill setups, but almost every hit he gets results in a 50-50.
Yes.
Guess wrong, and you're kicking the bucket pretty early. And Mr. R right there showing why this matchup is very, very doable for Greninja.
Yeah, Greninja alongside maybe characters like Captain Falcon is like 50-50 the character.
Yeah, exactly.
Constantly putting you into those split decision situations, and you as a player just have to try and guess correctly as often as possible.
And one of the things that Greninja gets so much mileage out in this matchup are his rolls, actually.
Yes.
While Mr. R is not just amazing at ledge trapping, which is what he usually gets credit for. If he fills his ledge trap, he's there with the corner pressure. And having a good roll to combat that is going to help you so much in this matchup. And that is one of Ice Studying's main claims to fame. Those uppy angles that you just saw come out when he was off stage, he's avoiding all 2 frames.
Yep.
Basically. And it's such an important little optimization to make for Greninja.
Oh, that was an excellent footstool out of shield, but a good tech coming out from Mr. R to avoid the potential lock.
Okay, and that was a very Greninja thing right there. Almost gets a combo, resets it, and then oftentimes people get flustered, so they start waiting for air dodges. Mr. R, he wasn't born yesterday, my guy. He is going to jump out of that situation and just regain control, just like this. Gets the grab and the bouncing fish.
Not enough just yet.
Yeah.
Caught him in the needles, but doesn't get the bouncing fish follow-up.
And the wicked nair almost coming through, but I mean, Ice Studying, he's so good with timing those defensive options, as I mentioned.
I anticipated an immediate kind of up smash anti-air. He limited Mr. R's options right there, so up smash really was the play, but he's still fighting.
It's just so important to not die at early percents versus Sheik, especially Mr. R. Because Mr. R, I mean, many know him as the guy who has issues killing, but he has so many kill setups just ready to end your stock, and just like that, the anti-air up air coming through, making sure that Greninja is not going to get any comeback going there.
And that was really smart by Mr. R at the end. He can constantly sort of caught his landings with that forward tilt. He wanted to force Ice Studying into a position where it's like, okay, I don't want you to jump. I don't want you to jump away. I want you to be scared of jumping. And then as a result, he was able to just track him down with that up air and get that final kill.
Yeah, and that is one of Greninja's main weaknesses, is his disadvantage state is just not quite there.
Yeah.
And that is much thanks to his lackluster aerials.
Yeah,
he does have a lot of stalling options. There's the neutral B, there's the down air, which is a stall and fall, and then there's even up B, which can alter his trajectory dramatically.
Yes. Up B, of course, being a more risky option than the others because of the cooldown that you suffer upon landing. But if you're certain that your opponent is going to commit to a certain position, it's definitely a good option to mix in every now and then.
Can we just ignore the clapping?
Why are they doing this? Dreamland clapping should have been banned ages ago.
We ain't you.
Oh, what a footstool! Oh, Mr. R!
All right. The tech, everything's fine, guys. Let's recollect our thoughts and go right into this combo.
Oh, these up-assisted. Excellent way on the air dodge, but not able to fully capitalize.
And I mean, Greninja is good with platforms. He's just not the best with platforms, right? So while it will give you a good bit of advantage versus a character like Sheik, especially when she's killing you by getting those anti-air up airs.
Yeah.
In general, Greninja does not have the most amazing setups using platforms. If anything, the platforms tend to interrupt the footstool combos, and that can be a critical element to this matchup, because you do need those setups to get the early kills oftentimes. Yeah,
that explosive clutch factor is really what helps keep Greninja in the game. Oh, the cheeky little... Oh, that's one of the Mr. R specials right there. That cute little dash dance when he has that advantage, when he's really feeling himself. He goes for that option.
We shifted off of melee ages ago, Mr. R. Please calm yourself. Ooh!
And that is another one of Mr. R's kind of special techniques, that cross-up back air into the forward smash, expecting you to open up out of shield and try and punish.
And I mean, that's exactly what I was talking about. Mr. R, I mean, while a lot of times people will talk about him as the Sheik that cannot kill, he has so many tricks and setups to just make sure you don't get to those high rage percents. And just like that, I mean, it's looking bleak right now, because at these lower percents, what do you really do against Sheik's combo game?
There's very little that you can do. You know, you just got to take the hits and eventually kind of claw your way back where you can. Great stall on the down air.
Nice. And that is an excellent way to work your way out of the corner. Even getting the forward air on the pressure here. Ice Studying. He's looking pretty solid here, but Mr. R just frame dataing his way back into center stage. It's such a back and forth here.
Yes. But it does feel like Ice Studying doesn't have a good amount of advantage now. He could definitely potentially take this stock if he's able to find that correct opening.
But he needs to do so quickly because before you know it, the game's going to be out of control.
Oh, that might be it. Oh, goes for the forward smash instead of another up B.
The magnet hands coming through for Mr. R. And okay, okay.
The water bait slicing through, finding its mark and taking Cheek stock finally. 76% on ice studying.
One of those things that Greninja does have going for him are those amazing disjoints, making sure that he doesn't just get out frame data. He can use the extra space to work around Sheik's frame data and get those huge hitboxes in that lead to, I mean, that forward air is not just 15%. If he gets that at low percent, he gets a grab afterwards. And if anything, it's just a juggle scenario.
The way that these two are just going back and forth in terms of advantage. Mr. R, though, currently getting a lot more out of it.
And what do you reckon?
Oh, Shadow sneaks out the up air!
What do you reckon? What do you reckon Ice Studying even does in this situation?
Oh, plays like this. He needs to continue to assert his corner control, I feel. That's where he's been doing really well. When he has Mr. R in the corner and he's able to try and capitalize off stage as well as get these grabs.
And that is exactly the issue with playing as Sheik. You are 100% correct. You need to get that corner pressure rolling. However, when you keep getting beaten down by Sheik, you start feeling hopeless.
Yes.
And at that point, you're at 150. Sheik is at 50. You're like, okay, I could corner pressure, but play closer to the edges. That's gonna be a risk. You're gonna need a lot of bravery to set up that pressure.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't blame Ice Studying for taking a little bit more room. Greninja does do well when he has more room to work around Sheik's hitboxes. But it just didn't quite work out that game. Let's see if roll read though. Let's see if Ice Studying can make something happen this game.
And that was essentially an artifact from the previous game. You know, you were mentioning before the whole retreating back in order to establish corner pressure. Well, Mr. R had already anticipated that from the get-go in this game.
He's not giving Ice Studying much room to breathe whatsoever. Ice Studying, however, answering back.
With these up airs dragged down. I like the double jump up air attempt to try and catch an attempted jump away from Mr. R.
He actually got the footstool, but it was a phantom footstool right there. That's not going to allow him to continue this combo further. And Mr. R with the tomahawks just making his way through Ice Studying's keep away.
Yeah. The way that he's kind of punctuating these empty hops around Ice Studying's defense.
It's just almost scary.
Ooh. Very, very close.
And look at this, Mr. R just entering back. His shield is his safe haven. And it's working out so well because, I mean, Greninja does have an amazing dash grab, but his standing grab is just not quite there.
Yeah. Which means, of course, in combination with a relatively slow up smash out shield and slow aerials out of shield, it makes his out of shield game in general very, very lackluster, particularly against a character like Sheik.
That trapped.
Trapped like a rat in a hole. But not out of this yet. Again with the dash dance, Mr. R is finessing on Ice Studying at the moment.
Finessing is the word to use here.
What a tech!
Even the tech is on point, Mr. R. He's just not skipping a beat.
He is just dancing around Ice Studying, and Ice Studying getting these few hits here and there, but nothing to really branch the control out of Mr. R's grasp.
He needs that, he needs that defining punch, that one tactic that's going to make it through Mr. R's oppressive play.
And that was almost it with that down tilt into the forward air. Oh, whistles him off stage.
Not quite enough to take the stock right there. But, I mean, the thing is, the more Mr. R has to worry about, the more openings Ice Studying is going to find. And just as we mentioned it, Ice Studying coming through with the drag down up air.
Now, was that an untechable spin within that drag down up air? It may have been preventing Mr. R from doing anything at all, in which case, of course, that was a completely guaranteed kill.
I mean, either way, it was a great maneuver by Ice Studying right there.
Excellent maneuver.
Using those angles once again to avoid the 2 frames. Ice Studying trying to go high, which is a good tactic versus Sheik. because while Sheik's frame data is amazing, her frame data is also very horizontal focused.
Yes.
So you're looking at a forward air, at a neutral air, at a back air that are all very, very strong, even the grab. But her up air, I mean, it's a good up air. It's not an amazing up air. So going high is definitely a tactic that iStudying does want to use just to mix up Mr. R. Oh.
He shadow sneaks.
That wasn't sneaky at all. The rapid jab.
Committing to the rapid jab this time.
No. Okay.
Okay, he does get a punish, I was going to say.
Nice little up throw. Does not get the air dodge read. I mean, the air dodge read to side B back kick will kill at this percent.
Yeah, that is terrifyingly strong.
Yeah, it is amazingly strong. And that is something that iStudying is known to go for. So don't sleep on that option just yet.
Meanwhile, Mr. R has kind of lost access to a lot of his conventional kill setup, so he's going to need to be careful and look for something a bit more raw. Oh! Oh, you know what that was? He respected iStudying's ability as a player so much. He expected him to get that tech, and that's why he went for the roll read up smash. But the forward air, enough by itself to take the kill and take the stock. And the set for Mr. R.
I mean, that was clean. We definitely saw a lot of signs of life coming from iStudying there. But, you know, stuff like the run off the platform at the very end of that third game, you just got punished by a forward air. And that kind of stuff is just that little bit of polish that defines Mr. R.
Unfortunately, they can't be all super close sets, but at least we will be seeing both players back in action. But for now, we've got losers quarters, where we will be seeing Purple H and Gluttony. They faced recently at Respawn, where Purple H actually took it in winners, but Gluttony took it back through grand finals. Let's see what happens here. Give it up for both players!
Losers quarters. Loser gets fifth between these two players. Gluttony versus Purple H. Wario versus Cloud.
This actually is a rematch at Respawn. These two played, and it was an extremely close set. We even saw Purple H bring out the Mewtwo, if I remember correctly.
Oh, wow.
And it was looking slick. Like, it was actually looking really clean. I really like the Mewtwo pick right there. And it just goes to show, like, not only is this Cloud a major threat, he has more characters ready to back him up. I even recall him going Donkey Kong at Elysium.
Oh wow,
something like that. So Purple H definitely has a lot of characters in his back pocket. Gluttony, on the other hand, primarily known for his Wario, also has a little bit of a Donkey Kong in the back pocket.
And he does have that Captain Falcon from days of old that you don't see as much these days, but it is something that has existed in Gluttony's arsenal pretty much since the beginning of Smash 4. Back when, you know, the transition from Brawl to Smash 4 Wario wasn't exactly kind to the character. He was a bit unsure of the character's potential, but he stuck it out, and look at where he is now.
He's here in losers quarters playing Purple H, and Purple H, I mean, we saw him last time. He's just going to use that platform, get his limit, and if Gluttony tries to contest that, I mean, he's either going to get the bite or he's going to get dash attacked, I guess. And Purple H not really mashing on that bite, even taking 15%. That's a lot more than he bargained for.
Beautifully spaced cross slash, and now finally the limit is on deck. The speed difference between these two characters, and nice chunk of damage coming out from that wheelie.
And Gluttony is somehow finding his way around these disjoints. I mean,
that's a forward smash! He missed it! No. He missed! Oh goodness, that is not something that you see very often.
Yeah, that's very uncharacteristic of Gluttony.
And now these juggles coming out from Purple H. Expects the air dodge read that time, but Gluttony coming down with the aggressive option. He reads the high approach, but Gluttony spacing just around it.
And look at this. This is Purple H in the driver's seat, just throwing out the hitboxes and forcing Gluttony to deal with it.
Down tilt into off bar. Wow.
One little mistake, and he's gonna stab your toes and waft on your face. That was very well done by Gluttony right there. And look at this. He's just got all the momentum for him right now on this second stock for Purple H.
Now, what we've been seeing a lot from Gluttony is the way that he's been working the ground movement.
Oh,
his ground movement with Wario, the way that he exploits that turnaround, the way he kind of adjusts his momentum, going back and forth with that is so good. And it's forcing these whiffs from Purple H and allowing him to get these punish opportunities. That reverse blade beam that we saw previously versus S1 not working against Gluttony, spacing around it impeccably.
And talking about those turnarounds, it's actually, I don't know if it's Wario specific, but Wario really gets a lot of mileage out of it. If he does a running turnaround cancel, he actually gets a little bit of a slide out of it, allowing him to do sliding down tilts and outspace. I mean, even sword characters like Cloud, apparently.
Yeah, certain characters get a lot of mileage out of that. His hands just beat Cloud's sword.
Yeah.
I do believe
those
his hands
greedy
are...
hands,
I do believe they do have intangibility, bone intangibility on the hands. Oh my goodness. That was off stage. That might have been curtains.
But Gluttony got the right DI going there, and I mean, he's not quite out of the situation yet. Purple H, I mean, we saw him in last round. He is very adept at keeping his advantage state going. But rule number 1 of playing versus Gluttony, you never roll. It's not an option.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
But it's like, it's so scary because like he'll put the bike there.
Yeah.
And it's in that position, he'll make you want to roll. He'll coax you into rolling, and then he's like,
he knows rolling is not an option. So he makes it look like an option. And then when you think you're home safe, there he is with punish.
Bam. The fast explodes. Not a pleasant smell for Purple H. But moving on to Battlefield, of course, the triplats. Cloud, infamous for being very strong on tri-platform stages. He's strong on a lot of stages because he's a strong character.
Gluttony, on the other hand, has to deal with the cards he's been dealt. And I mean, Wario, definitely not a bad pick. He's up 1-0 versus arguably the best character in the game.
Yeah.
He's looking very strong so far, but Purple H, I mean, outside of that fart and that final momentum, we did see him get a lot of good strings off on Gluttony. He just needs to adjust the level of thinking that he's applying to the game, because a lot of things that he's been trying to make worked very well against S1, but Gluttony, he's not letting it happen.
Yeah. Wow, Spotters is around the cross slash and punishes beautifully.
Ooh, using that airspeed and
the down air impeccable.
That's actually impeccable. Realize the following thing. That down air is a multi-hit, so if he hit more than one hit there, it would have been techable.
But he just gets the one.
Yeah, and that's going to be untechable due to Cloud's upbeat properties. That's so well timed. And look at this!
Oh my goodness, he gets another lock!
Oh,
but not in the position.
Okay, that was a good response.
Yes.
That was a good response.
A clutch get-up attack coming out from Purple H. And although this has been an incredible demonstration by Gluttony, he is at death percent to limit Cloud. So he does need to be careful.
And careful he is, using that bike to go all the way over Purple H. Usually, being above Cloud is not a good look, but Wario just has so much air movement. He can make it work.
Yeah, despite Cloud's incredibly fast airspeed, Wario is able to keep up in the air, and not only that,
oh, the call out!
The weaving from Wario is so good.
But I just looked at my watch and it looks like 2 minutes have passed. You know what that means?
That means our WAF is online, my friend.
Exactly, and there it is!
He called that over. He called that up tilt from a mile away, catches the extension and just farts on him. Oh my goodness!
Are you kidding me?
That was nuts!
That was just impeccable. Like the wits that you need to throw out that move in that situation against that character. I'm impressed. Color me impressed. That was amazing. Gluttony taking that 2-0 lead, and look at this tweet. Oh, it just faded out.
But thank you very much, Jeff So Bomb. We tried.
I mean, you can tweet with the hashtag Syndicate 2017 if I'm correct, and maybe your tweet will appear as well.
Yes, let us know what you think of the gameplay, what you think of our commentary so far. It has been an exciting time in this Syndicate Top 8 so far.
I'm having a blast. This is just pure entertainment. Look at that, a 30% combo off of the tech chase. Gluttony just coming out swinging here. And that 2-0, I mean, that's gotta be on your mind if you're Purple H, right? Ooh, oh. Nice recovery right there, gets back safely. And you know, one thing that I've seen Gluttony say on Twitter is that it's not a verbatim quote, but he basically saying
there we go.
He will never lose to Cloud, and he's proving it.
Proving it spectacularly. He is making this look so doable for Wario.
Yeah,
so
doable is the right word. Yeah. I mean, usually you think of the matchup, you're like, okay, so Wario gets walled, usually he has the advantage in airspeed, but even then, when Cloud has limit, it's not going to happen. So what does Wario have? Well, Gluttony is here to show you what Wario can make happen versus Cloud. And look at this, man.
Just the way he's playing neutral around Purple H. He looks so in control.
Purple H looking for the air dodge. Gluttony not giving it to him. That really is one of those things that Purple H is really known for. One bad air dodge and you get finishing touch. That's bye-bye to your stock. But not this time. Gluttony very aware, knowing that even if he does know, even if Purple H knows that the jump is coming, that up air is going to be probably the worst punish. That's acceptable. And
good neutral air, but unfortunately has to expend limit.
And what is Purple H to do to make this happen, my man? Oh!
That forward smash! Completely out the blue, you know, all this kind of safe, typical Cloud play that Gluto has been so perfectly working around. Sometimes you just have to go for those explosive YOLO options.
Put on the
get
Nike
yourself back in the
shoes
game.
and just do it. 2 hits of cross slash and a dash attack chase not quite going to work out. However, this time it is going to go through. And I mean, this deficit is not insurmountable at all. Ooh, nice but
this is very, very scary. And the Wasp to finish it.
And showing his claws. That was just a perfect edge guard. He had all the options covered.
Yep.
Gluttony was just one step ahead of Purple H all the way through, and that was a very solid end to a very solid set. Zenji, take it away.
Thank you, my man. And just like that, with a quick 3-0, Gluttony takes it over Purple H. But 5th place is nothing to scoff at. So let me hear you one more time for Purple H. Take your time. Take your time. Let's go.
In
all
victory
right.
or in loss.
And for the other side of losers' quarters, we've got frogs, we've got monkeys, maybe even a witch. We've got Ice Studying versus Scythe. Let me hear you guys. Can the Scythe, can you please come up to the stage?
He's monkeying around.
Taking his time.
I mean, you know, we don't bite. We don't bite, my dude. And there is Dennis as well. Please come up to the stage.
Oh, that's cute.
All right, and with that, it's back to commentary.
Now, of course, I suspect that the Netherlands does have the back of their boy Ice Studying.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna hear some loud cheers, I suspect. Are we gonna hear loud cheers from the crowd from the Netherlands? That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, that's a good look for Ice Studying right there. And I mean, he's gonna need it because Scythe, he's a major threat for Syndicate 2017.
Ooh,
look at this loading. Watching Syndicate 2017, these matches are hype. I mean, I'm feeling it. Are you guys feeling it? I'm feeling it.
I'm feeling it.
Let's go. Scythe versus Ice Studying. And I mean, a lot of people are not a big fan of the Greninja versus Diddy Kong matchup. But I feel like Ice Studying does have the experience to overcome those disadvantages.
Yes, that he does. Super Gamer, thank you very much. Loving Syndicate 2017. Commentators full of energy, and the games are diverse. Will there be a 2018 Super Gamer, a Toon Link from the UK?
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Swell fella. But moving straight on, final destination, Diddy Kong versus Greninja. Ice Studying versus Scythe.
Ooh. And already. Both players taking it a little bit slow, feeding each other out. That banana, obviously a very safe way to see what your opponent's reaction is going to be.
Yes,
especially
definitely.
when your ninja's cornered.
I'm liking the ideas that Scythe has out with the drops out of shield with the banana, trying to act as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Just a little bit too slow versus these really well-placed neutral airs coming out from Ice Studying.
And neutral air is going to be safe for shield grabs and in turn also for bananas. Just got to time it very, very well.
Yes.
Look
Opting
at
for that.
Ooh.
Opting generally for that neutral air over that forward air. It's a bit of a better hitbox, I would say, versus a small character like Diddy Kong.
I think the main difference between this and what we saw versus Mr. R in terms of aerial choice is that neutral air is needed because you cannot play the range game versus a safe item like banana. So he needs to put that pressure on using neutral air instead.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's working out well. He's only 14% down, and I do think Dennis, Ice Studying has an advantage in kill power versus Diddy.
So the Trump, a beautiful rising up air off the ledge from Scythe. Pretty much dead even game. Excellent Shadow Sneak to get out the setup.
So that really only works if the banana hits you when you're aerial, but it's obviously a very strong option, and the fact that you're giving Diddy extra factors to consider is always a good thing.
Yes.
It's so even so far.
Dead even. Who is going to take the first stock? Ice Studying once again working in the corner, banana in hand. Oh, he tripped over his own banana!
Oh, Ice Studying, laying that down and knowing that it was going to make his move that much more safe.
Oh, tries to whiff punish the monkey flip kick.
Okay, that was smart by Scythe. He didn't smash stick the side B, meaning the place at which he landed was a little bit different than what you're normally used to.
Yeah.
Very nice presence of mind. And
Up
the up throw.
Enough to take the stock. Ice Studying takes the first stock in this loser's quarter set.
Look at that. Ice Studying with the early lead, and this is tough for Diddy because having a little bit of extra rage is going to help your up smash connect a lot better, especially considering Shadow Sneak, because that is a thing versus up smash.
Yeah. And I'm loving Ice Studying's choices of options to get off the ledge. He's gone for neutral get up to avoid that banana and put himself in the most precarious position.
Look at this patient play by Ice Studying. And, you know, as we outlined at the start of the match, they're kind of feeling each other out. And as I mentioned, Scythe used that banana because it's so safe. Ice Studying is doing the same thing, except with Shuriken.
Yes.
And that is going to allow him to just get a feel on what Scythe likes to do in response to those situations. And, I mean, with a little bit of luck and a sharp eye, he's going to find a lot of habits out through that game style.
Oh, he went for monkey flip kick, but he's fine.
Okay, that's such a Scythe move.
Oh, that was so clever!
A Scythe move. That guy, he's just always there with that extra little hit to mess you up.
Yes. He wanted Ice Studying to try and punish that up smash so that he could go for the down smash on the trip.
Look at that forward air, going to be entirely safe. Scythe makes it back. Threatening a trump, but not going to do much for him there, and even gets Scythe off stage though. Look at this. Down air is going to whiff.
Almost catches that Shuriken, just a little bit off.
Down tilt, that is going to be the reverse hitbox. That is confirmable, but you have to be ready for that.
You have to be really ready for that one.
Nice little neutral air that is going to be very, very safe. And he's going to give Scythe enough time to pluck a banana. That's probably not what you want to do. But once again, Ice Studying staying on a comfortable lead, he has the room to work with. And, you know, take some more time.
Yep. He is absolutely not rushing. He's more than content to play this full screen length Shuriken game.
Yeah.
Just to chip on that damage bit by bit and maybe find the raw KO if he needs to. But finally, Scythe finds an opening and gets a good chunk of damage for it.
Look at this comeback by Scythe. He's just making it happen.
Bit
hit
by
after
bit.
hit.
One well-placed banana once again.
Look at that. That was perfectly aimed, and the up air somehow whiffing. That was a little bit unfortunate for Scythe, but he's still in it. He still has his banana in hand. And Ice Studying, I mean, He must be cursing his decision-making by now. Giving Scythe all the extra room has not been working out well. Scythe makes it happen, takes game 1 off of Ice Studying. What a hard-fought game.
Yes, excellent comeback from Scythe right there. He was on the back burner for pretty much that whole game. You know, Ice Studying, patient play, his excellent zoning with the Shuriken was really, really helping, but Scythe was finally able to work his way in, catch those landings, and make it very, very difficult for Ice Studying to really find his kill, find that way to just close the game.
And let's see if Ice Studying can adjust into a little bit more of a pressure-heavy playstyle. Because if Scythe holds on to this defensive, slow-paced, banana-centric playstyle, it's looking like a tough match for Ice Studying, to say the least.
Yes.
Nice little combo right there. Once again, I mean, Scythe tends to throw that banana under your feet rather than at the opponent.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess Greninja, who doesn't really have a landing hitbox to negate the banana with, works exceptionally well. Look at that pivot grab. He's just moving. He's grooving. He's edge guarding as well, but Ice Studying very rude right there. Just empty lands and gets the grab, and all this momentum off of that one hit is exactly what Ice Studying needs right here.
That one standing grab just created that sequence, allowing him to get back into this game, create a more even situation.
But more even is not winning. Scythe is still ahead of the game. Look at all these combos coming out here, and the down tilt to continue his pressure. He's not letting up.
And that's one of the key things with really, really good Diddy Kongs. Once they throw that banana on your shield, it's about what they do next. It's very, very difficult to punish the banana. So the Diddy Kong has a lot of free reign in terms of what they're able to do.
For sure. And I mean, it's hard because it's not, there's so many other things you got to consider when playing versus Diddy Kong. Well, Diddy Kong's kit is generally a little bit more straightforward, making adapting. You have less choices, right?
Yes.
So that makes it a little bit easier to pick your choices. Your options, I should say. Look at this Ice Studying living all the way until 160%, using that up B, as I mentioned, as a little bit of a landing mix-up. Gonna get home free, but not quite enough to kill Scythe yet. Let's see what he can do with this offset pressure. Gets both of the water jets, but Ice Studying
up smash just off on the mark. Going for the forward air this time and taking the stock.
Ice Studying once again taking the first stock. But Scythe is walking menacingly. Not enough though. That up tilt is very strong, but if you're not going to jump, it's not going to be that amazing of an option. And look at that.
The double down smash. He knew.
Breakdancing.
He saw that approach coming from a mile away, and he was just completely disrespected it.
And, I mean, that is a message. You're telling Ice Studying, look, man, you're going to have to find different ways to break my zone. Because I mean, Scythe has been getting so much leverage out of that corner pressure. Not only the up smash bait that we saw last game, but then there was also like the double down smash, which happened as Ice Studying was trying to leverage corner pressure.
Yep.
So I really think Ice Studying needs to watch out for those corner situations a little bit more here.
Yeah, definitely find a way to capitalize even more on his central stage positioning. Right now, though, it seems like he's doing a really good job. The way that he's applying his neutral airs, and of course his shurikens as well.
With Scythe rolling through and getting that jab, that is one of those things that is slightly hard for Greninja. He can catch rolls for sure, but he needs to set up to catch them properly. And that you just don't have that kind of time against Diddy, but what
the sweet spot up smash
is that down tilt to up smash confirm, striking true.
Yes.
Very, very well done by Ice Studying. Just, you know, he was taking it slowly, and then as soon as he saw his one opening, made the most out of it, getting the up smash kill, and is going to be tied up right here. Ice Studying and Scythe at Syndicate 2017.
And that down tilt to up smash, generally, it really caught Scythe off guard there. Because typically, in order to avoid that as best as you can, you want to try and DI it away. DI the down tilt out, so that it's harder for Greninja to get the up smash. But if in that position you're not, he was DIing in there, so he got caught by the up smash very, very easily.
Because it was the reverse hit, right. So that was very well done by Ice Studying. You know, you never know if these kind of things are intentional, but what you do know is intentional is Ice Studying's excellent reaction to the type of hitbox that he got out of that down tilt.
Yes.
And getting the maximum out of it. That was very, very well done. And already getting a little bit of a banana combo going on there.
Nice Z drop in. Ooh, using the banana to extend the hit lag of that forward air this time.
And look at that ice stunning on the juggle. Got a lot of momentum going on here. Grabbing the banana, using the Z drop to apply pressure and re-catching it as well. And here comes the neutral B camping. Oh,
wow, tries to dunk him. Comboing off of his own hydro pump. These two going back and forth, comboing off of each other's options. It's crazy.
Scythe making such a clean comeback happen there. He was at 0% for ice studying, and immediately they're tied.
Yep, 72 to 73,
And
1%.
That's one of those things that Scythe is really. You see Scythe play, and the one thing that jumps out is how aggressive he can be with a character that's normally seen as a very slow-paced, methodical character.
Yep, because when you have such strong neutral options, such ways to kind of condition your opponent, such ways to punish your opponent's punish opportunities. Like, why do you need to commit?
Oh my goodness, that was one hit into the final hit. I'm pretty sure nobody expected that to connect, and not even ice studying, and just start by ice studying.
But ice studying, keeping this close, capitalizing on the damage where he can. Good DI away this time.
Ooh, down throw, good DI by Scythe once more.
Yeah, definitely went for down throw as a DI mix up
Regrab.
there.
Oh, the regrab on the other side once again. Ice studying was just not ready for it. Scythe, such presence of mind, knows he can go all the way to the other side of the stage, and right now he hasn't done any damage yet, but he has avoided all of ice studying's momentum, and there it is. That a banana will eventually land. It covers so many options, especially when combined with Diddy's very, very strong neutral kit.
Yep, 28% already. Very close to that forward air. No punish.
And that is very hard for Greninja to punish. That is the back of his shield, but here comes the grab and up throw to the skies.
Enough to take the stock of 178, only 28% separating these two fighters.
Yeah, Greninja's combo game is sure to be equalized in just one solid hit, but Scythe having none of it, using that invincibility to leverage some momentum right there. Ooh. Nice.
Very nice pistol, but
The
doesn't get a grounded one.
was in the way there for the down air combo. Unfortunate for ice studying, but very, very fortunate for Scythe. And even though
wanted the double dunk, but slight DI away, I believe, coming out from Scythe allowed him to avoid it.
Even though he missed attack, he still had the proper DI. That is going to help you a lot. And that P and a pop gun cancel going to help him reverse the momentum right there. Ooh. Woo. Yeah, ice studying really has to watch out here. But Scythe, on the other hand, a weak hit neutral air. That was a strong hit. A weak hit neutral air will convert into... Ooh.
That was beautiful. Just that moment of patience coming out from Scythe. Both attacks missed?
That was very well done by Scythe, catching that jump. And he's really been on top of those jumps.
Yep.
Not just with forward air, but I also saw him throw in a few up smashes on the jump. And those up smashes nearly hitting. So that is going to be the 2-1 lead for Scythe. And I mean, ice studying, he was definitely alive that last game.
Yes. As we saw from the beginning of the game, he did have that lead.
Exactly.
That Scythe was able to just kind of bring back very quickly.
And what is ice studying to do to make sure that doesn't happen anymore? Because Diddy just has such solid tools to steal away momentum and make it his own. Ooh, look at that. A little bit of an awkward forward smash by Scythe right there, but it works out just fine. Gets the Geo combo, not quite there.
And ice studying is doing a really good job kind of acknowledging what hitboxes he's landing and when. He
Oh, yeah.
realized that he got the soft neutral air right there, so he didn't overextend with something large. Instead, he tried to poke again with a back air.
And Luke, talking about confirming, he confirmed a footstool into a down air like it was nothing. And then, you know, getting a little bit of momentum and combo out of it, but Scythe already, you know, he's trying to find his footing right here.
Yes. The level of expertise and execution that Scythe has with this character is incredible.
Ooh, look at that up air, dragging him all the way to the blast zone, but not enough. And Scythe just chilling, going to the ledge, no pressure for him. He knows he can make these kind of comebacks happen. He's shown us how deadly he can be once you give him just a little bit of room to work with.
Right now, once again, we see this defensive shuriken play coming out from Ice Studying, chipping away bit by bit to rack up that damage, slow and steady.
Ooh, the trip, that's not quite what Ice Studying wanted in terms of spacing.
Definitely not.
Ooh. Ooh. Scythe just keeps on going. That banana's getting thrown all over the place.
And
everyone
there we go.
gets some potassium, and right there, the forward smash to finish off the knuckle sandwich right there. Scythe got the lead, and if he gets this game, he advances to loser semis. Oh, did you see that aerial banana combo coming through?
Scythe is looking very, very nice at the moment.
Using that banana to cover himself, the trump not going to work out. And Ice Studying has been going for that for a few times, but it just hasn't been working out for him. But I can understand he needs to find a way to close out the stock before this gets too tough to climb back up.
Very nice little bounce on the banana coming out from Ice Studying right there.
50-50, did not go through with the forward air. Unfortunate for Ice Studying. And Scythe, the percentages just keep on racking up. Look at that, the throw to up air, not gonna kill, but that's a good amount of damage. And the
Shadow sneaks out, but gets hit by the down smash, and this is looking very difficult for Ice Studying right now.
That was such a pick your poison scenario. Either get hit by the up smash or get hit by the down smash. And that was smart by Scythe actually, because his optimal punish would have been forward smash, but he knows forward smash is also Shadow's.
Oh, again, this is a poor DI coming out from Ice Studying, makes him lose that game a little earlier than he would have liked, but Scythe taking it 3-1, able to progress through.
And it was well done by Ice Studying, right? We saw a lot of leads, we saw a lot of patient play coming out, but at the end of the day, Scythe was just that much more patient, just that much more on point with his punishes. And that's gonna earn him the set. And Zenji, why don't you talk to us, my brother?
And with that, Scythe keeps the German hope alive. But let's give it up one more time for Dennis, aka Ice Studying. And for now, are we moving on to, what are we doing? I think winners finals, right? Can I get a confirmation? Yeah, right, okay. It is winners finals. The two players that were projected to meet here are actually meeting up. But I first want to know from the crowd, who do you got? Do you want to see Ken win? Let me hear you. But also let me hear you for Mr. R. Here we go, winners finals of Syndicate 2017. Back to you guys.
Now this is definitely a set that we've seen before. Not of course on European soil, but
True.
We've seen these two go back and forth. I believe they are 1-1 in set counts. Mr. R previously, I believe at one of the Tokage qualifiers or Tokage itself.
Exactly,
he beat Ken 2-0, but meanwhile later on Ken was able to get the victory 3-0 over Mr. R. So this could definitely go very back and forth between these two veteran top players.
And I managed to speak to Mr. R at one of the tournaments, right? And we were talking about the Sonic matchup. Because we've known for a while that Mr. R is going to house Ken. So I'm personally curious, what do you think about the Sonic matchup? And he told me that he used to be really, really good at it. He practiced a lot on Wi-Fi with 6WX, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
And he's been kind of slacking on the matchup experience, so housing Ken was really a godsend for him. So he managed to grind the matchup a whole bunch. And we're going to see the fruits of that labor right here at Syndicate 2017.
Now Mr. R may be in winners finals, but can he see why kids love the taste of Cinnamon Toast Crunch? I don't know. But what I do know is we're going to have a fantastic set between these two arguably top 10 players. I would say, of course, Mr. R being in the top 10 PGR. Meanwhile, Ken as viewed by many as top 10 in the world at the moment.
Oh yeah, for sure. And if anything, this is the best player in Europe versus the best player in Japan. And it's happening this time on home turf for Mr. R. Already got a few of those footstool combos coming out. Mr. R, he has led those. I was his guinea pig for that. Looking clean, optimizing that Sheik metagame. And that is one of those things that you often hear Sheik say, right? Sheik is that top free character if you manage to push her all the way till her limits.
Yes. And all the time we see these top Sheik mains gradually learning more and more about their character, expanding her horizons.
Sharing knowledge and different playstyles.
Yes.
Mr. R definitely not afraid to incorporate other Sheik's ideas. Look at this. Ken, on the other hand, he's already striking back. Nice little lead by Mr. R, but the cross-up just not quite working out. And Ken, he's aware. And he's got the momentum going for him. A little bit of a defensive neutral situation here.
Yeah,
and Ken coming out with the jab right there. Going to stop Mr. R's pressure advances. Very, very well done by Ken.
Excellent patience on the landing. Didn't want to get hit by that neutral air upon landing. So he just waits around it.
That's one of those things that you really, really need to capitalize on when you're playing versus Sonic. Those landing lags just have that, or those aerials just have that much landing lag. And especially a character like Sheik with that amazing dash to shield frame data, she can get there and she can get the punish easily.
Yes. Best in the game alongside Corrins, I believe.
Exactly, exactly. Sonic, on the other hand, some of the worst dash to shield frame data in the game, which makes the way he controls space in the mid-range just that much weirder compared to other characters.
Yes. I really like that from Mr. R. He was in a situation where it looked like Ken could get the stock, but finally, Ken does manage to find the stock. He was at a big deficit and managed to claw his way back.
Yeah, and instead of going for that immediate up air after the spin dash, he was just waiting out, watched how Mr. R DI'd the spin dash, and got the guaranteed neutral air on reaction, finishing off that stock. And Mr. R DI'd it, he DI'd it well. It just wasn't enough. And this is a bad look. In this matchup, getting the lead is such a big deal, because once you get that lead, not only are Sonic's approaches limited, those needles are going to come in clutch for Mr. R.
Meanwhile, though, Mr. R is going to need to find a way to take this stock. Trades, unfortunately, with that neutral air.
Yeah, that's too bad. Trading that multi-hit with a single hit is never a good look. And Ken, he's just running away with the game at this point. Let's see if Mr. R can close out the stock. He needs something cheeky. He needs an anti-air up air. He needs to get one of those patented cross-up back air to forward smash, just something, just anything to make the misery stop. He just keeps on spinning, my guy.
But finally, the bouncing fish not enough to take the stock.
Not quite finally there, and Mr. R running off to fake out the trump and trying to get the drag down up air. Cute little setup. Not going to be enough to close out the stock versus the likes of Ken.
Yes. Ken instead opting for the neutral get up.
Jab, jab, forward tilt. At these percents, that is going to be a combo. Still not enough. And
wow.
I think that was a very nice calculated risk by Ken.
Yeah.
And one thing I would like to point out here is the timer. Even if he does get that kill, more than half of the game has gone by.
Yes.
Getting that second kill is going to have to happen sooner rather than later, or Mr. R can say goodbye to getting that counter pick advantage after game one in this set.
That said, though, he's keeping Ken spectacularly in the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't capitalize on the regrab, uncharacteristic of Mr. R right there.
Yeah, it's tough versus Sonic because he can overshoot his up Bs, and then he's right there with the aerial pressure, right? Oh, nice little air dodge wait there by Mr. R. And usually that bouncing fish is reactable, but when you do it close enough, it's not quite there.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult.
Mr. R definitely has fought his way back into this game, 60% on Sonic, and he needs to get that advantage state going as soon as possible, because sooner rather than later, those Sheik combos are not going to work anymore, and that's when he needs to get that advantage train going. Get the ledge trap, get the anti-airs, etc., and Ken, so good with those anti-air back airs, but it's not enough to kill Mr. R always.
Oh my gosh!
What on earth? What an answer! The down air stage spike, sending Ken to the depths of Smashville. Mr. R, out of nowhere, who says she doesn't have any jank? That, don't add me.
What a turnaround in a situation where Mr. R, he was on the back burner. He didn't have that much time left on the clock. He really needed to gradually build that lead. He makes that explosive play and just completely turns it around.
That was so well done by Mr. R. That's gonna net him game 1, which is also important, especially in a high-profile match like this.
Yes.
Look at this already, a lot of pressure, that momentum definitely carrying over. Nice little trade from Mr. R, that definitely one he's gonna take.
Goodness,
and he
and
just
this jump is gone.
Very
close.
Did you see Ken there, though? He edge canceled his air dodge to compensate for the end leg. That was very well done. Also nets him back his up B to use to get out of advantage state later.
Yes. That was also a very nice sequence from Ken right there, coming off to challenge that neutral air from Mr. R with that up air. Now, once again, pretty much what we saw previously, Ken is closing the gap.
And that's exactly what I was talking about earlier, that bouncing fish, because it was max range, it was reactable. And that's exactly what Ken did. He's no slouch. You cannot catch Ken sleeping. Nice little landing forward there. Mr. R just fighting him off with hitboxes. And that was a dash shield on the landing from Mr. R, and that is going to abuse Sonic's poor landing options. Very, very well done by Mr. R, showing that he's very, very knowledgeable about Sonic.
Beautiful catch on the bouncing fish. Even the slight hurt box adjustment from the forward air wasn't enough to keep Ken safe. Oh, these back and forth spin dashes.
That's some good movement by Ken, but now he's on the ledge, using that platform to relieve some pressure.
Very
Mr.
smart.
R respecting it because he has to. It is Sonic. Little back throw, catch him off stage, maybe get that early kill. Nice attempt by Ken.
Going nice and deep. Kind of not something that you see all the time from Ken. He's very sort of all about that on-stage control. Not often do we see these big off-stage commitments from him.
Yeah, but that's exactly what we were talking about in his set against Gluttony.
Yes.
When he does latch on to that habit, to that tendency that you have, he's not willing to go all the way to exploit it. And barely getting out of his life there. Sheikville not quite coming through for Frovo. Gonna true combo into up air. He does the ID cross up very well. Ken, however, still in the pickle. Look at these percentages right here. Barely getting away with that roll. And Ken, what is he to do to get out of this situation? He needs to end the stock quickly. Going for the setup on a normal get-up, not quite getting it. Mr. R, I mean, he's so good at ledge trap that he knows how to get around them.
Yes.
That's one of those benefits of really specializing in specific aspects of the game.
Yeah. That pivot grab was ridiculous. He ran across the entire stage and just grabbed the landing completely out the blue.
Exactly what he did versus Gluttony, and it keeps working. Ken, he sees something happening there, and the selected punish that he has ready for it is the pivot grab. Very optimal, very well done, very innovative.
Yes.
Spin dash pressure is going to be a little bit tough to get around. Good shield damage, but Mr. R, I mean, he is playing Sheik, so Ken does have to respect not only the lasting hitboxes, but also the lasting projectile. If he does have multiple needle stacks, that is going to last a while and catch a lot of spin dashes out.
Yeah, Mr. R is very good at just finding those little opportunities to charge needles in safe situations.
Oh, yeah.
He does it particularly when he's off stage and when he's in advantage.
For sure, get that extra little needle on deck just for that little bit of extra active hitbox. And then after he throws it, he's immediately back to charging.
Yep. But this time, instead of opting...
That was guaranteed! That was guaranteed because of the up B spacing! Such exquisite presence of mind by Mr. R, taking Ken for a ride. He just lifts him from the depths of Smash Field all the way up to the skies, off the top, and Ken had no stocks left there. Wow. I'm sorry, Jordan. I know you're trying to jump in because you know so much about Sonic, but it's just so hype I cannot contain myself.
I mean, I was even going to say that Mr. R even had the cross-up of the up air to completely reverse Ken's DI. He DI'd that as poorly, per se, as possible.
Exactly. Mr. R was just on point on all levels possible. And look at that early forward air, gonna combo into a grab. Not gonna catch much after that, but Mr. R still in the driver's seat here. Ooh.
Beautiful spot dodge from Ken. He's been doing a good job scouting out that empty jump.
Oh, that. Mr. R tried to deny the airspace with that neutral air, but Ken having none of it, just patiently waiting, knowing that though, you know, give me your worst, it's not going to hurt that much. And if you mess up, I'm going to be there with the punish. And that's exactly what he's doing right now. Look at that. He's there with the punish. And so much damage on Mr. R right now.
His punishes to Mr. R's button choices have been exceptional. He's punished pretty much everything that he's done on block, and Scythe is typically very safe on block.
Oh, that get-up attack, so clutch by Mr. R. Oh, okay, we're good.
Excellent cross-up, and the footstool into the bouncing fish.
Nice little combo right there. A lot of damage coming out from Mr. R. Almost evening it back up, but Ken, he's still ahead here, and he's catching on to the rolls. Just a little bit slow on the trigger there, but the idea is there, and the message is sent. Mr. R, you cannot roll to reverse the situation here.
Wow,
And
that time he didn't even roll, he just stuffed him in the face.
That. The percentage says 99, but that was 100% death. No questions asked. Ken just finding the whiff and punishing it ultimately. Very well done.
Exceptionally well with that forward smash.
Ooh, the jabs. And those jabs, I mean, a blessing and a curse. He just died for it, but right there, it is going to break the pressure. And look at that. The neutral air, very, very well spaced. And the trump as well. This is Mr. R trying to get the stock as soon as possible. Another trump. And usually rolling versus Sheik from the ledge when she's trumping you is not a good idea. But because she is going to get that guaranteed bouncing fish. But I think in this situation, Ken would be okay with getting hit by it and staling it, because it wouldn't kill, and Mr. R would rather have that fresh bouncing fish ready.
Yeah, definitely. So that was definitely a good decision coming out from Ken to go for the roll in that instance.
I mean, in those rock, paper, scissors situations, what really defines what really separates a good player from a top-level player is the player who not only guesses the 50-50 correctly, he more often tends to go for the most quote-unquote correct option to minimize his losses.
Exactly.
And it really requires a lot of game knowledge to know what that is.
A lot of game knowledge and just a lot of general awareness of what is happening and what your opponent is likely to go for and what your opponent tends to opt for in those situations.
Look at this. This is Ken in the driver's seat, but Mr. R, this is prime combo percent for Sheik. If he can just get his foot onto the stage and get this pressure situation going, he's able to inflict a lot of damage. But he's just swinging with those moves, and Ken, let's see how he responds to that.
Those empty hops coming out from Mr. R, just pressuring the platform with that movement alone.
Ken is looking for that back air. Mr. R, you better not jump. Look at that. It's still happening.
Oh, that was so close.
The power shield, Mr. R. Count your blessings right there. And the stop on the side B. Nice little mix-up. Ken pulling out all the mix-ups when he needs them.
One critical adjustment I feel that Mr. R has made so far. Excellent mix-up with the jabs right there. One critical adjustment he's made, he's implemented more cross-ups versus Ken. Ken hasn't...
For sure. Just as you said it happened. Very, very...
Oh, but he gets
talking about cross-ups. That was a cross-under forward smash. Just like that. Ken, he was woke. So woke. Very nice. Ken putting himself on the board. That's going to do a lot for the momentum of the set.
Yes, definitely. But of course, Mr. R does have that counter pick advantage. Where do you think? What kind of stage do you think we'll see coming out from Mr. R?
So obviously Smashville is a good choice, but Town and City as well. And the reason why Town and City, normally it would be one of Sonic's best stages, right?
Yes.
But Sheik has so many kill setups on his stages. Like this tri-platform setup that you see at the start especially. Her tilts set up so well. Her throws set up so well into tech chases. And on those platforms, her kill options are just amazing.
Yes.
We often see Void go for like a forward tilt, tech chase onto the platform, and then get like a forward tilt into the up smash. Kill at 60%. That's exactly what Sheik needs to cement a game. The platforms go away. Of course, Sonic does have a good time on flat stages, but Sheik, as we mentioned before, has those lasting hitboxes, has those needles. She can contest Sonic in these environments. And then the final transition, which should be coming up shortly, are the Smashville platforms, which are going to help Sheik get those drag off combos horizontal. Of course, Sonic, on the other hand, he does have a few setups with like his spin dash into forward air that is going to be able to seal out some early stocks as well. It's all a matter of who really gets to capitalize on their kill setups best.
Especially on this stage with its tighter horizontal boundaries. Those forward airs from Sonic will be especially threatening, as you mentioned.
And then the up throw up air as well, that's just deadly. Though, to be fair, we haven't seen Mr. R get hit by an up throw up air to kill yet.
Yes.
Footstools, and that's a reset. I've seen him do that before. That's so nasty. Good DI by Kenvo, trying to go out because he knows This is barely out of outside.
Into the up air.
Fish connect. That was a 50-50.
Yes.
Going to go very well for Mr. R. That Super Saiyan percent coming through.
However, I have noticed that with those critical up airs, Mr. R more often than not is opting for that cross-up option. So
Yeah.
Ken is going to need to readjust his DI in that sense. You know, Mr. R is being very stubborn with that option.
And yeah, he's going to need to do it soon. He has one stock left. This is his tournament stock, and Mr. R...
It's winner's side stock.
Yeah, his winner's side stock. I'm sorry. And Mr. R is at 100%. I mean, usually that is prime kill percent for Sheik, but this is Sonic we're talking about. He does not have that many kill options, but is this one? Is this
Not
the
yet.
one? It's not. It's not. But nice setup by Ken regardless. He does get those back throws a lot.
Yeah. The very simple option, the roll back at the ledge into the back throw. You see that, of course, a lot of the more mid-level, but sometimes as a mix-up at top level does help every now and
Anti
then.
actually uses that as his go-to ledge trap because that up smash pressure is just too much. And Sonic similarly has that lasting back air that is going to dissuade you from using the ledge jump to get out of that sticky situation. Mr. R kind of messing up the juggle there, and Ken all too happy to land back on solid ground. Let's see how he takes this stock off of Mr. R. He's already lived way past the expiration date. Look at that!
Wow.
Using the jump from the bouncing fish to go over the crab. Look at him.
The spacing was absolutely nuts.
Forward tilt on the landing leg. That is that Sonic weakness, and the back air is just a little bit too slow. Exactly what you were talking about earlier. Very easy to whiff out. And a lot of Sonic's kill moves are duffs. That back air, that forward smash, and really his main solid kill option is that throw. But then, as we were...
And that shall be the set.
Yeah.
Excellent
Mr. R.
patience. You know, Ken was desperate to get that back air, desperate to take that stock,
Exactly.
and Mr. R's beautiful patience really paid him dividends right there, able to clutch it out with that forward tilt into the up air.
And that was a 2 stock to boot. That was a convincing win, and that's going to be very important for Mr. R, as he is now waiting in Grand Final side for his next opponent. Ken, on the other hand, he's going to have to fight for some of Europeans' best once more to get there and get his revenge versus Mr. R in Grand Finals.
Yeah, thank you. So that was an intense Grand Finals, and congratulations to Mr. R for making it to Grand Finals. But right now, I'm here. I'm just lounging with my man, Gluttony. So, Gluto, how are you feeling, my man?
I'm fine.
You're fine? That's good to hear. How do you feel about going into the semis?
Wow.
Well, there you have it.
My God.
There you have it. Good luck, my man, and also good luck to Scythe. Loser semis, guys. Let's go.
Now, this set is a run back from the Albion 2 Grand Finals, I believe.
I mean, this is... I think it is pretty undisputed. These are the number 2 and the number 3 in Europe going head-to-head for the right to face Ken and try to defend the continent. Longo, thanks for the tweets. I didn't get top 8, at least get the tweet on stream. Here you go, guy. My guy.
There it is.
He's still in top 8. Here you are.
Featured one way or another.
So, at Albion 2, can you give us a rundown of that matchup? Because if I remember correctly, you were commentating that, right?
Yes. Back in Albion 2, I believe that Gluttony had won both the winners and Grand Final sets between him and Scythe, but they were very, very close. You know, we had a lot of exchanges where Scythe was adapting really well to Gluttony's neutral, but Gluttony was able to get those incredible clutch plays, those incredible clutch moments. Of course, that waft is explosive, to say the least.
Exactly.
It is an incredible move. The wild card in Wire's arsenal.
And the wild card is right. And Gluttony, the most impressive thing is, Gluttony takes a wild card character, and he's oh so consistent utilizing that character. And that is so impressive by Gluttony. Scythe, on the other hand, he's the polar opposite. He takes what is one of the most methodical characters, and instead, he's so explosive. He's so aggressive. He's punishing you left and right in places where normally you wouldn't expect Diddy to try to push his advantage. And I think it's always very, very interesting to see how those two styles clash and to see who comes out on top.
Yes, definitely. We'll be getting into this very, very soon between these two top-level players. Town and City, I believe, was the first stage pick.
Looked like it.
Yes,
there it
was.
is. A lot of room to get around Diddy, but also a lot of enhanced kill setups for Diddy himself. Of course, one of the things to keep in mind in this matchup is that bike does go through the banana. However, because these two players have played so often, Scythe now tends to jump, throw the banana over the bike, and still hit Gluttony. That's such a fun little interaction.
Like right there. Called it from a mile away.
On the other hand, that's not everything Wario has to deal with that banana. He can also eat it.
Yep.
And that's a tasty little snack. Get that potassium on deck and win.
A cute little 1% as well.
Yeah, true. Look at this. Scythe getting a neat little combo here. Double back air. That's very, very niche. But he made it work right there. Nice awareness by Scythe right there. Gluttony just using that airspeed to keep Scythe in the air.
Soaring over with the bike. Finding stage once again.
And how do you suppose Scythe is going to find his skill setups? Because as you just outlined, the grounding banana is just not going to happen versus Wario. So what are you really looking for Scythe to do here to make the kills happen?
He's just got to look primarily for those down tilts, I guess. You know, just we see it here. He's going for a lot of them in the neutral, just try and catch Gluttony on the ground.
Yeah, and on top of that, he also has that up tilt that's really been pioneered by Zero as a strong, strong kill move.
Yes.
Very lasting, huge hitbox. It is a tilt, so it's pretty fast as well. It's going to be a huge threat to Wario's air game for sure.
I love that from Gluttony, throwing the bike up just to nullify the banana that was coming down.
Very smart, very good awareness right there. Funny thing, even though these two players are the top 3 in Europe, they hardly play.
Yes.
They haven't had a lot of sets under their belt.
Albion 2 was the first time that they had played.
Yeah. And look at this waffle on deck. We're already 2 minutes in, and Gluttony definitely looking to... I mean, this is one of those Wario conundrums, right? Do you use the fart to even it up? Or do you try to get that stock with any other means and then use the fart to make the second stock a lot easier to take? And if you look at Reflex Wonder, for example, he's very binary in how he plays. He always tries to get the first stock without using the fart, and the second stock has to go with the fart.
Wow. That down smash hitting at such a low angle. Scythe was able to tech it center stage.
Yeah. The breakdowns from both these characters, down smashes, right? But Gluttony right there, just a little bit faster on the draw. Ooh, nice little forward air. That lasting hitbox is going to do a number on Wario's air game. And the back air.
The raw back air just approaching aggressive.
My guy, fart is still online.
Oh, that it is.
This is scary for Scythe. You know Wario's looking for those neutral air setups at lower percents.
Absolutely. Those footstool setups are so, so scary. Just the loops that he gets with the forward air locks.
Just a little bit of item play right here. Scythe's not trying to force anything, which is very respectable. He's ahead in percents. Gluttony has to make something happen here. And Gluttony, on the other hand, he knows that he has to make it count. So he's not just going to take any willy-nilly opening that he can get. He needs a good opening. And
yeah,
Gluttony,
both players.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Gluttony, as a brawl player, he's very used to waiting his opponent out and playing the safe game.
Both players being very, very conservative right now. Very, very close with that chomp. That might have been very helpful.
He dropped his shield, but he's still alive.
No
he's
rage
still
on
alive.
Diddy Kong.
And look at the bike going over the banana and that up tilt. It was being thrown out. I saw it. That's definitely one to look out for if you are Gluttony.
Oh, he tried to spike him with the down air.
That is a lasting hitbox, but just not quite lasting enough. And poor DI on the down tilt. I'm pretty sure Gluttony was aiming to cross him out with the air dodge.
Yeah.
Just barely didn't make it. And Sir John, good luck to Scythe. I'm sure he learned of the set in winners. I'm sure he learned a lot. Thank you, Sir John, supporting the Germany crew.
Yes.
Very, very talented player from Germany. And M1 believing in Gluttony. I believe in both of these players. They're so talented, and the stuff that they pull off, like the down air that came out that almost gimped Scythe, that would have been such a heartbreaker for Scythe, but it's just such a close call constantly, right?
Yes. Actually, I believe, I don't know how I didn't note this before, but these two, of course, played earlier in bracket of this tournament. Gluttony, I believe, won 3-0. So Scythe getting one on the board has definitely really helped.
For sure. And I mean, getting those extra sets in definitely helps. I think it would help more in Scythe's case rather than Gluttony case, because Diddy's experience, that's easy to get.
Yeah.
But try to get Wario experience on the level of Gluttony, that's going to be very, very rare. So the more they play, the more Scythe gets used to the matchup, and the more Gluttony has to rely on like the solid play rather than the gimmicks,
yeah,
or so to say.
The tricks and tips.
Exactly. I mean, talking about the tips and tricks, we haven't really seen Gluttony land any footstool combo versus Scythe. And that's one of those things that Scythe has just adapted to. It's going to be very, very tough for Gluttony to get one of those off. Either that, or he finds that one new mix-up that he made up on the spot, probably, and makes it happen.
I'm loving what both players are doing. Once Gluttony gets that trip, he knows his character's not fast enough to get those long-range punishes. So he's waiting with that turnaround, but Scythe himself is also being very patient.
I think patience really is the name of the game, and Scythe a little bit hasty on the monkey flip, and that is going to get him punished. However, immediately claps back with that down tilt. Going to get all the stage control right here. Nice bike to dash attack, going to put him back off stage.
Ooh, very, very close with the coverage. A little down tilt into the dash attack. Tries to anticipate an incoming approach, but Scythe doesn't give it to him immediately.
Ooh, went for the down air, not quite going to work out. Gluttony gone out of snap before that is going to connect. The bike, of course, that is going to be a lasting hitbox while the wheels are still spinning. And the fart is on deck.
Once again, the bike hitting.
And look at this Scythe just taking the room, pulling the banana, throwing it out, and Gluttony, he's just having so many issues trying to find that one opening for the kill here.
Excellent cross-up from Scythe to keep himself safe.
The pressure. Everything is done to a measure. It's so well done by Scythe there, using the banana throw down, the bounce off, the banana, the back air. The sequence is just so practiced. You can see that he's put hours upon hours perfecting his playstyle. And right here, he's going to get the kill.
Yes. Excellent stuff from Scythe. 121 on his stock though.
Ooh, the bike is going to avoid the grab on the landing there. Gluttony, I think once more he is going to look for a way to end the stock without using up the waft.
Yes, particularly since Diddy is at such high percent. He knows that something like a rogue back air like that will be more than enough.
That was a good call. That was immediately as you said it, the back air coming out. And Gluttony, very well known for making you believe that you have all the room to work with, and then just back airing you for being greedy about taking space away from the wall. Kind of a stalemate going on right here, and Scythe is, once again, Scythe is happy to wait. Gluttony, it's on you to make something happen. Look at this, one opening, and Scythe is immediately in there. Nice little combo, a lot of damage direct. Even though Gluttony is playing a heavyweight.
Oh no!
Wow.
Doesn't snap the ledge with those barrels, and now the situation is completely changed.
This is such a dire situation for both players. Nice little nair there, gets the cross up to make it safe. And you know he's looking. Did you see that tech chase attempt? You know he's looking. Gets the dash attack afterwards because Scythe...
Oh, and he clanked him out the bullet! He clanked him out the up B, a swift gimp coming from Gluttony.
Wow. Such great usage of Wario's tools. That forward air, usually seen as a very subpar move due to its low knockback. But in that case, the low knockback was exactly what made it the perfect move for that scenario. Well done by Gluttony. And right there, he takes game 2, 1-1, evening it up right here at Syndicate 2017.
Yes. Oh, that was a real turn of events.
That was a nail biter right there. I mean, he even had the waft as well, so there were a lot of options for Gluttony to take that game back.
Yes. Sir Dosington on Twitter, I hope this match will turn better than the last time France and Germany fought each other. Syndicate 2017.
No comment on that one, my man. No comment on that one.
I mean, the last time they fought each other was
Oh yeah, the crew battle, exactly.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. But yeah, getting right into game 3 right here, right now, Syndicate 2017. On Town City, once again, I guess Gluttony is okay with Scythe going back to the stage, even though DSR is in effect. But that is kind of a Gluttony thing. He's not very concerned with what stage he's playing on.
Yeah.
He's more concerned with who he's playing against. It shows in his gameplay. The reads that he makes, sometimes they just come out of nowhere. But they're so
good.
Yeah.
For lack of a better word.
I mean, that's just the simplest way to explain it. They're good. They're reads that most people would not be able to find. And look at that.
There we go.
And I'm not going to kill, but that's a
Yes.
good amount of damage. And the offstage scenario, that back air is going to be a threat. The bite on the ledge trap, even going for a down tilt. But Scythe, through all the adversity, he's just chilling on the ledge.
Catches
no
that roll
monkey
spectacular.
business.
Oh my goodness.
Is this going to be
Is
it?
he gonna get the game? No,
the
he doesn't.
angle, the drift, that was so well done by Scythe.
Oh, and Scythe goes for his own madness right there.
Look at the
He gets
grab
it up.
and the up smash.
Oh.
He is a Mario brother after all. That is an intangible up smash. Not quite going to be enough for the kill, but Gluttony, such a good sequence coming out right there. The cross under up air, not going to do it for Scythe, but he has got a lot of momentum here.
Yes.
And such a swing from Scythe, going from getting styled on pretty much to just steadily working his way back into the game. Let's see if he can hold on to his stock long enough to make Gluttony sweat. And once again, so unfortunate, Scythe.
Oh my goodness.
Taking a well-deserved break right there. Poor guy.
The people want Gluttony to eat the bike. Unfortunately, he cannot anymore.
Yeah, Scythe is back on stage and ready to pressure. And, I mean, let's be honest. We saw Quick versus Scythe. And even though Quick got like a 0 death off on Scythe, Scythe was still in the game. And that's exactly what he's doing here. He might get that slightly unfortunate up B right there. But he strikes back immediately. The double knuckle, making the stock count even right here. Such great comeback potential right there from Scythe. Look at this, all the pressure.
Oh, I feel like that dash attack was intended to be a drop down air to just finish Gluttony right there.
Not going to be enough though, and let's see how Scythe recovers. Just goes for the monkey flip, but Gluttony was also ready, and that's one of those things that airspeed just comes to get you in the when you least expect it.
Yep. And just the way that kind of Gluttony coaxes you into wanting to recover high by pressuring the ledge so well, pressuring low so well. And he's just able to get easy punishes because of it. The way he just constricts your options with Wario of all characters.
The neutral air, he's actually just going for it because it is technically, especially in a pressure scenario, it is going to be the most optimal option because it is going to allow him to combo into even more moves, which is obviously amazing damage reckoning coming through here. Gluttony, I mean, he's sitting on the waft and he's looking to fire.
That said, though, this is a bit of a scary situation. As down tilt to up smash.
The bike to mix up his landing once again.
Whoa!
Oh, the cross up! And the bike! And the forward air. Wow, Gluttony is just all over him. Scythe. Okay.
But when it comes down to it, the simple stuff can really pay in dividends, and Diddy Kong is all about that. The down tilt, it's the up smash, finding the opportunity and taking the game 2-1.
And I mean, versus an aerial character like Wario, it does require a bit of a read to go for that down tilt pressure. Usually, you would be more inclined to go for those forward airs, try to keep Wario out of the airspace.
Yep.
But Scythe, he is familiar with the way that Gluttony applies pressure. And you mentioned this before, Gluttony actually has a surprisingly good ground game from what you expect from a Wario. And Scythe knows he's not about to be caught off guard, and he's there with the down tilts, catches Gluttony and ends that game free. And right now, it's 2-1, Scythe in the driver's seat.
Final destination is of course, the stage choice of Gluttony.
Yeah.
Very common pick that we've been seeing from him throughout this top 8.
And I get it, because especially looking at last game, he had so many good landing mix-ups, and he didn't really get caught on his landing at all. On the other hand, he's really capitalizing on Scythe's landing game.
Yes.
So a stage like Final Destination, where you don't have any platforms to capitalize on a poor landing game, you're going to get those kind of punishes come through constantly. Ooh, up tilt string. Nice little attack chase right there.
And there's just been so many various mix-ups from Gluttony already from the start of this game. The way that he's applying pressure with the down air, you know, sometimes auto-canceling it, sometimes not. The way he's throwing out these forward airs and neutral airs to catch Scythe, opting for certain options. The cross-ups, as we see right there. So much excellent play coming out from Gluttony.
And would you say that's a consequence of the different stage or more of a personal player adaptation?
I definitely think it's a personal player thing.
Right.
Just the way that Gluttony is adapting. He's so good. It's what defines him as, in the eyes of many, the second best in Europe.
Yeah, his adaptation and mental game definitely one of the best you can find here. And look at that, just landing with the forward there because he knew Scythe was waiting for the bike. Just throws out that early hitbox, and Gluttony, he's all set to get this early kill, and then the fart is going to be online immediately.
141 to 82%.
Okay, he's taking it slow, using the second bike to get back, just safely going all the way around. No reason to hurry for Gluttony here. And Scythe, that's a bad roll, my guy. At 160, that is going to spell your doom, and it's not silent.
It is not silent indeed.
And look at this, all the pressure, and that fart is fully charged. Just a little bit more for Gluttony. And Scythe has got to be feeling the pressure. You do need to hit that certain percentage threshold, as did he, to start threatening a kill.
But he's gradually, bit by bit, getting closer and closer to that threshold.
Down throw mix-up!
That was so smart, and it
Sick.
almost got the kill.
That was sick! That was absolutely incredible. I've never seen that before. And Gluttony obviously DIing up or in to avoid the back throw. And Scythe almost ending that stock with it, but Gluttony, he's still around, he's still surviving. He's still filled with flatulence. Oh, look at this, tries to land without the bike. And the bite as well.
Wow, the range, barely catching him.
That's that down tilt just not hit on the ledge. I've seen him go for that a few times, but it hasn't been working out for him.
Maybe just not versus Diddy Kong, I guess, or certain other characters.
Oh, he almost
so
gets
close
the
with the
jump block. That was such a clutch moment right there. And
tries to go for it again.
I think that was more of a roll catch, but Scythe, he was just rolling in, reversing the momentum right there.
Yep.
Nice little mix-up, and the back air wall.
Oh, but he gets around it and wafts him for his troubles.
And exactly what was working out for him last game, the straightforward, strong, simple options was exactly what made him lose that game. The back air walling just wasn't going to work out versus a player like Gluttony. Using that early air dodge to have enough time to get the fart off before landing. Excellently done, and even if he was a little bit off on the timing, the super armor would have gotten him through the final back air.
Oh yes.
So well done by Gluttony. And I'm just really curious about what the last stage pick is going to be. It's been a little bit of a mixed bag because while Town City and Final Destination shared a lot of similarities in terms of like the amount of room you have to work with, Gluttony did really well in Final Destination and had a bit of a poor showing on Town City. So I'm really kind of iffy on what elements of a stage a Scythe would be looking for here to really nail this Game 5 situation here.
Yeah, I'm not too sure myself. They may end up just falling back to a stage like Smashville to just kind of get the best of both worlds for both players, I guess.
I can definitely see that. I definitely think Gluttony as well just wants to get a Scythe off stage more often, and a small stage like Smashville is going to allow that to happen more often. And then when Scythe is off stage, you can get those lasting aerials, that forward air game that we saw, the down air attempts.
Yep.
Lots of good stuff coming out there, but I think
a lot of careful consideration.
Yeah, I mean, it's Game 5, losers bracket, and it's going to be
instead we have
Battlefield. Interesting, because traditionally Diddy is not a big fan of Battlefield, I would say.
Yeah. Of course, extending the length of those kill confirms, Wario is going to be surviving typically for a long time here.
Yeah,
those large boundaries.
That high ceiling especially is just not a good look for Scythe. On the other hand, it is going to be a lot harder for Gluttony to get that kill without using fart. Maybe that is what Scythe is going for, because that really is one of the most defining moments in every game so far, is Gluttony getting that first kill and then using the pressure of the fart to capitalize on the second stock.
Yes.
So not even letting him get the first kill is going to be a big boon to Scythe right here. Ooh, down tilt to space. You don't see that often, especially when Diddy has his own down tilt to contest it. It's quite a risky option, actually. Gluttony was ahead of the game there, though.
Tries to catch the roll in with that forward tilt. Another triple fair. Good stuff to Gluttony, not going for an air dodge.
Swerved! Wow! Oh, but still gets the grab. That was such an angle, though. Like, ooh.
So crafty coming out from Scythe.
I mean, he got away with murder there. He was supposed to get hard punished, but he only got grabbed. And Wario's grab is not that impressive.
No, it's pretty slow. Frame rate across, interestingly, all 3 of his grabs. He's one of the only characters where his grab frame data is pretty much universal across the 3
that's
grabs.
interesting. Like dash grab, pivot grab, and normal grab, right?
Yeah, they're all the same.
So one thing that I'm really interested in, because we talked about whether Gluttony was doing well last game because of player adaptation or because of stage pick. You call it player adaptation, and that's something we're really seeing here. Regardless of the stage, Gluttony is taking that lead here, and it really seems that you were on the money with that call. I think Scythe, especially, he just needs to calm down. We see a lot of rolls get caught by bikes, a lot of early hitboxes that Gluttony is just waiting out, and Scythe, I know he has it in him.
Yes.
To slow down the pace, he just needs to find that peace of mind.
These boys dancing around each other on the ground, poking at each other with the down tilts, but
that is so unfortunate. He just misinputted a dash attack, I think it was. Tried to compensate with a roll. It just looked really panicked. Yes. You know what I mean? And getting panicked against a character like Wario, against a player like Gluttony, it's just not an option, my guy.
Especially in this scenario where Diddy, it's a lot harder for Diddy to get a kill at this percent. Meanwhile, Wario, that waft is primed and ready.
Yeah, this is Battlefield biting him in the behind. It's not going to be easy to get that up smash here.
We hear the one more stock chance from the crowd. Scythe wisely playing this very patiently. He doesn't want to overextend.
Ooh,
so close.
That. And once again, the down tilt to up smash and Battlefield. Not a good stage pick right there, but once again, throw another one. We got a whole lot of bananas coming out here. And this is game.
Oh, what a fantastic tech chase coming out from Gluttony with the chomp.
Look at that. Nice little convert by Scythe. Tries to push his lead. Uses that forward air to deny all the airspace. Monkey flip on the landing and another forward air. Going all the way. Scythe, he's no slouch. He's here to play. And look at this, man. He was behind just a second ago. And significantly at that. And look at him now. He's ahead in percentages. And while Gluttony might have that fart on deck, it's not going to help much when Scythe plays this patient. And look at this. Is exactly what I was talking about.
Oh,
earlier.
that was fantastic. Oh my goodness. After what seemed like such an incredible downer, such an incredible read from Scythe, Gluttony completely turns it up on its head and seizes that Game 5 in a spectacular fashion.
And that's one of those things. Gluttony almost never opts for those committal defensive options. He does like to shield every so often, but those spotters and rolls, that's a rarity.
Yes.
And just there, it was the perfect option. Zenji, what do you got to say about that, my man?
What I got to say is, allez, Gluto!
Allez, Gluto!
Allez, Gluto! You know, there's a distinct French quote. I believe the French community will know what I'm talking about when I say c'est free. C'est free.
C'est free.
C'est free.
But that also means Scythe is out at 4th place. And I know there's a big German representation right here. So give it up one more time for your boy, Scythe! So that means we are moving on to losers finals where Gluto will get one more shot at Ken. Let's go. Back to you guys.
One more shot. And I mean, last time that was a nail biter.
Yes.
And this time we know Gluttony has that adaptation. We also know Ken has an adaptation. But we know Gluttony right now, he's working with a lot of momentum. He just beat Scythe. Ken, on the other hand, he faced defeat versus Mr. R. So while Ken has to pick himself back up, Gluttony can keep his momentum going.
Yes.
Keep going forward and try to leverage that into a W right here.
And the people at home seem to concur with you. They definitely think that Gluttony at the moment will have the edge because of that. X-Tech left bolts. Gluttony.
The issue with French is you're always hoping that you don't butcher it.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you to all the French viewers, and of course, all the viewers watching at home. We really appreciate the support. And of course, the first place in the Geeky Goon Squad Casino is going to get a custom controller by Controller Chaos. So look forward to that and bet those, what is it, Geeky Bucks, Goon Bucks? I don't even know. I'm sorry. But yeah, bet those bucks. We're going to have a great reward waiting for you if you get that first place going. But for now, we're going to go straight into Losers Finals, the rematch. Europe's number 2 versus Japan's number 1, Ken versus Gluttony, here at Syndicate 2017.
Moving back onto Town and City again, we see that flat stage, we see these platforms. Now, interestingly, it's interesting that they start here, considering that this was the stage that Ken won on in their previous set.
Yeah,
the Game 5, the rather dominant Game 5. 2-stock coming out from Ken. Wirio's footstool animation is so funny when he just gets footstooled on the head like boom.
Yeah, and look at this. Already we see Gluttony taking a little bit of a more patient approach than last time, I would say. And Ken, I mean, Ken is ready. Ken is here with hitboxes, and we can see like the bite mind games have kind of they were on the forefront last set, but now we see a little bit less bite usage and a little bit more normals, so to say.
But Ken is just working around everything so well at the moment. Only 4% to 87.
If you look at how the last set ended, with Ken having a pretty dominant W.
If you're gonna eat something, Wario, you're gonna eat this knuckle sandwich, my guy.
Does not look tasty whatsoever. But yeah, like Ken had a very strong finisher last time they met in winners. So I think that momentum is also a thing that we should consider when looking at this matchup.
Goodness. That was so pristine coming out from Ken.
You hardly see that combo, but that was just exquisite. Very well done, Ken. He's on another one. He's just, once again, he did the same thing versus Mr. R, where he spin dashed you, and rather than going for that immediate up air, he's waiting, reacting to your DI, and the most optimal option, it's there. It's just in your face, and you're done. You're gone.
Ken's precision with Sonic is unparalleled. It's
art.
Absurd.
Okay, and this is Gluttony fighting back, and that spring.
Now, I feel like in this situation, I may be completely wrong, but I feel like in this situation, it may actually be wise for Gluttony to use that waft early to get the kill at this percent. That way, he can kind of slow down the pace and build up another waft later on.
Ooh. I would agree with you. I think with the pace that this set is going, especially since Gluttony himself is taking a slower pace, I actually wouldn't be surprised if he's actually planning to use the fart early. I think a situation that we just saw there, where he was using the bite to beat the spin dash, I think in those situations, a waft would definitely be in order.
Yes.
Remember, guys at home, if Sonic spin dashes from far away enough, if you can get that bait off, it is very reactable. If you do have a super armor move or a nice little quick lasting aerial or ground move, that is going to do a lot for you in the Sonic matchup.
Tries to catch the spring jump with that down air. The multiple hitboxes on that, not quite enough.
And look at this, the spring from Ken is just keeps coming in clutch for him. It's very hard for Gluttony to catch Ken when Ken constantly springs out of disadvantage. And when Gluttony starts waiting those out, Ken just starts jumping or swinging. And it seems like a very, very tough situation for Gluttony to deal with.
Wow, invincible right through that bike, just tears through it.
And Gluttony with the spacing, forward tilt, beating that back air. Ken, I know you're good at landing those back airs, my boy, but calm down for just a second. Gluttony is here to take the win. Let's see, vote at 18%. That's a lot.
Oh, he gets the footstool! And that is! Oh my God! Impeccable DI coming out from Ken. I really thought that was it, considering he was so much rage behind that waft.
Okay. That was not a kill, but look at the percentages. This is a doable game, if anything. And if Gluttony just can avoid those back airs, if he can rely on his more grounded playstyle rather than get caught by the kill moves. As long as he doesn't get pivot grab, this is going to be a forward throw.
Good DI on that.
DI, yeah. Don't want to get caught sleeping on the DI there. Ooh, the forward air to interrupt.
That was clutch.
Nice. Those rising aerials really working out well for Gluttony.
This is so scary for both players.
Oh,
excellent roll.
That pivot grab keeps working, but not this time. Gluttony hasn't actually been...
Oh, way too ambitious with that up smash. And
I wouldn't even say way too ambitious. That was a power shield, my man. A few frames off of victory for Gluttony. I agree with the call. I think the execution might have been a little bit lacking, but it was a good call. That head is fully invincible, just like the other Mario brothers.
That is true. That is true.
So that was near-death experience for Ken. And what was very interesting about that game was the way Gluttony clawed his way back into into the driver's seat, pretty much. I'm sorry we don't speak Japanese, but we do appreciate the Japanese audience tweeting as well. A little bit of an error in the stage selection here. Just give it 1 second to sort that out. And looking at the previous set that these two played, what do you think about the interactions of that game one? Are there any like parallels or contrasts that you see?
Well, similarly to game one of the previous set, we did see Ken take the lead, and then Gluttony was able to actually take that game one. That almost happened again right there, but unfortunately, he was just a little bit off on the percent, so he wasn't able to get that waft kill, and he had to try and climb back in a more typical, honest fashion.
To be fair, though, he had to pull the trigger there.
Yes, definitely.
He couldn't wait for his next opportunity. He had to take the percent. He had to take the opportunity that was given to him. And it almost worked out, but in the end, Ken is just
a little too good.
A little too good. But it was definitely in the realm of possibilities. That win was not far away, a few frames off for Gluttony. And on Battlefield, this is going to help him. I think this is definitely going to help him because that back air is going to kill later. I think Sonic, denying Sonic kill options is a lot stronger than denying Wario kill options in general. Look at that.
Great patience on the ledge by Ken, just waiting out Gluttony right there, because Gluttony hasn't exactly been pressuring with any kind of trump.
No, that definitely hasn't been a thing. On the other hand, however, you do have to watch out with your hang duration, because if you do hang too long, that dash attack can stage spike and end your stock pretty early. Ooh, the spin dash back on stage. That's not safe. Gluttony calling out the early stop rather than the jump out of spin dash. Very well done.
Nice. Yeah, he was aware of how much time he had committed to the startup of spin dash and punished accordingly.
Ooh, that invincibility is gonna give Ken a kill combo here, and the spring setup gonna negate Gluto's invincibility as well. This is looking very, very good for Ken once more. Ooh, back air.
Back air's explosion. 16 for it.
Yeah, Ken actually destroyed the bike, and the bike exploded. That hitbox is gonna hit Wario as well.
Yes.
Adding a little bit of extra damage right there. Very unfortunate for Gluttony, but well done by Ken. Just immaculate spacing on the back air right there. Look at this. Look at this spin dash usage. He's telling Gluttony, if you want to beat me, you gotta get back on those bites, and then I will play that that mind game with you. Because Gluttony is I think he's discouraged from using bite, because last time he got forward smashed in the nose.
Yep.
So he's gonna be looking for different options to deal with spin dash, and it's just hard for a character like Wario to find those. Ooh, look at that. That spin dash invincibility once again, and Ken is just slowly making this near impossible for Gluto.
Yeah, Gluto just can't find a big hit. He's getting these chip away hits with these forward airs, but nothing substantial to really take the stock.
If you're talking about nickel and diming, that Sonic is the king. That's really not a playstyle that you want to play with Sonic. The nickel and dime strategy is not optimal.
But finally, getting that back air. And now, once again, we see ourselves in a similar situation to the previous game. Full waft on deck, and Gluttony at this deficit.
To be fair, though, the blast zones are a little bit different this time around, and the waft is going to kill a good bit later.
Oh, that's unsafe from Ken.
Ken has been going for these up smashes. I'm not sure if they're misinputs, because I do know Ken plays with smash stick, if I'm correct.
So he's looking for jump cancel C-stick up air.
I think so, but I'm not 100% on that. It might just be that he's going for calculated risks, but I think it's very uncharacteristic from a player like Ken. On that note, though, it would be the perfect mix-up.
Yes.
Normally you're methodical, and then just out of the blue, the kill move. That's not really punished that hard either.
Although against a character like Wario, in this scenario, it might just be punished hard.
Yeah, it's not. You don't want to play with a scenario like this. You gotta finish your plate.
Again,
oh, that back air's not the best spacing, but he does make it back. A little bit of extra rage as well. He's fully charged on rage and waft right now. And look at this. Ken just trying to bait a reaction with those spin dashes, releasing early, shield canceling. He doesn't seem to. Ooh. Oh,
very, very close.
That was very, very.
Excellent pivot grab. This won't
the
be
mash!
Stock,
the mash! We're still there. And that was what? Woo! Gluttony.
Oh, no.
Bless your guardian angel, but it's just not enough to make it out of that situation. However, he's still alive. The stock isn't gone yet, and we have seen Gluttony go on a tear. Just deny an entire stock, but not against Ken.
This time, Ken denying the potential for any sort of comeback with that back air. 200% though.
And I think that fart is a sign that Gluttony is starting to lose his cool. It might have just been that Gluttony read, that game-winning turnaround waft, but it looked like a reach.
Yeah, he was expecting Ken to overcommit in an instance where he really had no reason to. And as a result, he lost his prime resource that he needed to really get back into the game quickly. And now suffering at this 0-2 deficit, he's got a lot of work to do.
However, he does feel comfortable with Battlefield, and I can understand. There's a lot more room to land here, and I feel like the platforms do kind of help you push a lead versus Sonic. He does have a lot of issues pressuring those platforms.
Those up airs from Gluttony, just giving Ken a round of applause for the previous 2 rounds, a painful one at that. 62%.
For sure. I mean, we've seen Gluttony up air through cloud down air.
Yes.
he is absolutely a master at hitting that move. Ooh, the back air is not going to be safe, but gets away with it. And Ken, for the first time this set, he is on the back foot here.
What a grab! Oh no! He must have grabbed him out of his jump. Oh no, that is a real stinger for Gluttony right there.
You hate to see that kind of thing happen. You hate to see that kind of thing happen. However, it's not over. We're still in this. Gluttony, I mean, we've said it a few times now because it's been this situation over and over again. But Gluttony does have that comeback factor. And while he does have to work a little bit harder here, try to get that first stock on Battlefield of all places, he does have the fart relatively soon. A few more seconds.
And even in this sort of percent, you know, the fart is a very deadly resource.
Yeah, I really want to see Gluttony use that early for once. But I just feel like he feels a lot more... I think he feels a lot more comfortable trying to get it later in the set. Ooh. And you know, resource management, it's a real thing, man. We don't have supers, but it's still a thing to consider. Even stage control itself is a resource you have to manage constantly.
Definitely.
And look at that, the stage control, that's exactly what we're talking about. Ken, he had little stage control, tried to roll to regain his stage control, and that's where Gluttony finds his punish.
Yes,
and
perfect.
This is a lost stock scenario in this game 3. Definitely doable for Gluttony. Ooh, and once again just grabbed straight out of it. Ken having none of it. It's one of those things that you were talking about, you know, Ken just not known to get upset. He's so consistent. And that consistency is really showing here. However, as you also mentioned, Wario is a wildcard character. If there's any character that can make that consistency, you know, that can rip through the tiny little shreds, tiny little holes in the consistency that Ken has, it is a wildcard character like Wario.
Yep.
And what kind of setup do you reckon he is looking for here? Because the Nair is probably not going to work against a horizontal character like Sonic.
I think at this moment he's just kind of chipping away until he can really force Ken into a situation where he can scare him with other options, not just the waft. Oh, he was so close.
He actually did see the roll coming, but the hitboxes was barely not there. And if I were Gluto here, I would try to play the long game, try to get the half waft.
Yep.
And I mean, his nickel and diming has been working out. He got a nice bite there. He got some good hitboxes in here and there. That up air is gonna be a good move.
Yeah, these up airs have been doing a lot of work. Good roll in to avoid the pivot grab.
No forward there from Ken. Slight error in judgment right there. And I mean, it's so hard to react to DI there, but it is giving Gluttony that little extra chance that he needs. Let's see how he uses it. That's not gonna kill on Battlefield, and I'm feeling the pivot grab coming again.
Oh no, it wasn't strong enough!
It wasn't strong enough, and
He had the second stage waft, which is not strong at all.
Ooh, that's not a good scenario for Gluto, and I see Ken looking for that pivot grab already. Look at the movement, that is a lot of pivots. What's
that gonna be it? No, not enough. Oh, it is! He DI'd for the forward throw and the up throw, working as the mix-up there, messing up Gluttony's DI, and Ken progressing through with that 3-0.
And I know we've said it before, but Smash 4 is a game of inches. Was he 1% higher, that up air would have been guaranteed, right? That mix-up wouldn't even have existed. So Ken being hyper-aware of the percentages that Wario was in and using the exact correct throw that he needed. Zenji, talk to me, boy.
That was losers finals, and we all know that Gluttony has taken many intercontinental players' names, but sadly for now, Syndicate 2017, we're gonna have to say goodbyes to the Wario. Can I get one more Allez Gluto?
Scythe.
But for now, we are going to the final set, or maybe even 2 sets of this tourney. Ken will be facing Beast Coast Mr. R.
And these two players
You guys are the worst.
Amazing.
They are incredible indeed. One final battle in Grand Finals to take it all home, to become the Syndicate's 2017 champion. Will it be Beast Coast Mr. R, or will it be Ken, #1 player in Japan?
And you know, we've really seen Mr. R on the come up recently. He's been implementing a lot of new things. We see the footstool combos especially just rack up damage at lightning speeds, and Sheik really needs to capitalize on her damage wrecking capabilities. And right now, game 1 of Grand Final Syndicate 2017. Let's get into it. And already Ken, he's coming out swinging, but Mr. R has other plans. Goes for the back air on the bad spin dash. He thought he had a little time there, but Sheik, he's almost there, and the spring. Such a clutch maneuver there. Gonna get him out of that sticky spot and back into the game. Look at this, the grab on the landing, and that's one of those things that we really saw last game.
But he still had his jump intact.
The bouncing fish almost kills as well. Using the platform Ken, such nice presence of mind right there.
Yes.
Not gonna get caught by any down tilt tomfoolery. Mr. R's ready to punish it though. He uses that stage control, and the ledge trap not quite gonna work out on the bait there.
There's so many different dynamics that Mr. R just introduces to the ledge play that you just don't see, even among other top-level players. You simply don't see it. The kind of options that he's forcing Ken to take down the needles into the bouncing fish.
That is the Mr. R classic. And that is one of those things that really just hits you when you play that actually top levels Cheek. Those needles aren't just a tool to force you to approach. They're going to combo into a kill setup. And that's one of those things that Mr. R has really improved at. Utilizing those extra kill setups that are just going to make it that much trickier to get to high percents. Ken hasn't been living till high percents much in the sets that they have played, or the games that they have played.
Mr. R has been playing exceptionally efficiently
Oh yeah, efficiency is definitely the word of the day for Mr. R here. Look at that, just pressuring him to spot us repeatedly. Ken looks a little bit shook.
Yeah, he's definitely a bit flustered from the incredible play that Mr. R is just exhibiting for us in this set.
Oh, the up smash, that was definitely a read on the jump right there, but it's not going to work out for Ken, unfortunately. And back to the drawing board you go, Ken, because this is looking like a tough match to win. I'm
not even sure if that up smash would have taken the stock, even though he did have a bit of rage behind him. Sonic's up smash is one of the weakest in the game.
Ooh, wow! Was that the re-grab or?
Yes.
I think it was the re-grab, yeah.
Yes. Caught the re-grab beautifully with that bouncing fish.
I think what happened there, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No,
I think what happened there was Ken was trying to be cheeky and overshooting his up B.
Reverse, yep.
And bouncing fish, that was such presence of mind by Mr. R. He knew that even if he overshot the ledge, that wasn't going to work out there. Bouncing fish covering all the options there. And Mr. R taking a very, very solid game one, a 2-stock at that. And let's see what Ken has to answer Mr. R here at Syndicate. Nice little grab combo. No advantage state resulting from it, though. And that is one of those things that Sheik is just really good at. You gotta respect her buttons. So capitalizing on advantage state can be a very, very tough thing to do. You need a lot of room to move around the buttons, and then it's very possible. At low percents, that's just not happening. Ooh, Trump
Bear. That's the first one we've seen this set so far.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that Mr. R doesn't really do often. It's more of an option he throws out there when it's mid to low percents.
Well,
to show you that he's willing to trump you. And just showing the option is enough mental damage to enhance the strength of the rest of his ledge trapping. And that is such a smart thing to do from Mr. R. He's like, it shows that his game plan is very meticulously crafted. And it's something that definitely shows in his play. However, this time around, Ken already performing a lot better. Tied in percents right now. That's a bit of a different look than last game.
Definitely.
And what do you think Ken's adaptation has been so far that lets him go this even with Mr. R?
He's certainly not DIing those up airs correctly. Constant cross-ups, and Ken is still missing the DI on all of them. But in terms of adaptation, I'm actually not entirely sure. That's Ken going for a trump himself.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ken has stuck to the same game plan. He's just been executing it
a little better.
A little better, exactly. A little bit faster, a little bit more precise. That one RPS that he guessed correctly instead of incorrectly. And that really, really makes a big difference.
No! An SD from Burst Grenade coming out from Mr. R of all players. That is a shocker.
Poor Mr. R, but he's back in the fight. He's still, I mean, he's ahead still. Not anymore, I jinxed it, but you get the idea. He's still in this. That suicide was at 150%. For a Sheik, that's already way past your kill percent. Way past your bedtime. Mom caught you playing video games at 2 a.m. Please go to bed, Sheik.
And what a combo coming out from Mr. R. Beautifully optimized to get as much damage as possible. And he's continuing on, pressing the advantage.
Look at that pressure. He forced Ken to use his spring when he wasn't even nearby. And that really is one of those signs that you know you're doing something right against Sonic. Out cancel Nair, not going to deny much airspace versus Sonic. He's just going to wait and punish once again.
Ooh, very slick pivot grab coming out from Ken right there.
I'm a fan. Spin dash baits coming out. Mr. R just throwing out the needles, but it's not working against Ken. Ken, we know he has a lot of experience against Sheik because he practices with Aim, who is a very talented Japanese Sheik.
Yes.
Mr. R, on the other hand, he does have that 6WX experience, and he has housed Ken. So these two have played for a good while before Syndicate happened. And you can see that when the needles aren't working versus spin dash, it's just like that. Exactly when I said it. It means that Sonic has caught onto your needle pattern. Like, at which moments do you release needles? At which moments do you just let it be? And that's very important. And those little player reads, they just add up. They just keep adding up. and eventually it can feel very suffocating. Good thing Mr. R himself is no slouch at getting those reads on deck. He can definitely fight back.
Ooh, tries to read the roll in with that up smash, but Ken not giving it to him. Once again, chipping away with these needles. They just allow him to get that stage control. And that is so important. Oh! That spot dodge spectacularly. He hasn't gone for forward smash at all so far in the set, and he just stuffs him with it there.
That reminds me of last set, where Mr. R got absolutely destroyed for a few bad spot dodges, a few bad jabs, and that is Ken, dude. That is Ken. You make a minor error, and he's just... You give him a finger, he takes your hand. He takes your arm, he takes your entire stock. You're gone. And that's exactly, I mean, that's exactly what we're talking about. When he gets that read, he's willing to go all in on it. Even though he is normally such a methodical player. So, that was quite a comeback from Ken there. And it is a 1-1 right now. Ken evening it up, and Mr. R deciding to go for Final Destination. If you do follow Mr. R on social media, which you should, you can often see him rant about how people ban Smashville instead of Final Destination versus Sheik. He's really convinced that is her best stage. So let's see how that works out.
The strength from needle camping, the way that she's kind of able to just apply that full stage length pressure and suffocate characters that usually get platform advantage.
Right.
So strong here.
However, Ken right now, he is on the upswing. A little bit of a combo in his in Mr. R's favor, but nothing he can take. It's a lot of momentum on Ken's side here. I can imagine Mr. R must be a little bit shook after that 50% comeback.
Yes.
Last game.
Just a tad.
But that little bit is enough for Ken to push through. And look at this. This is a nice little lead. 30%. That's a lot of a lead against Sheik.
Particularly in this matchup, but Mr. R closing the gap, only 10% between them now.
Back air string coming in clutch for Mr. R, one of her most damaging aerials. So getting 2 of those is definitely what he needed there. Nice little forward air, anti-air, and the pressure. Oh my goodness,
almost gets in there.
Had the coverage, but it just wasn't there. And Ken rolling out of the pressure, but he was still cornered. And that's one of those things that Mr. R is just so good at. The corner pressure keeps happening. And then when he gets that hit, you're back in the corner. And it happens all over again.
Yep.
Ken getting a little mix-up on the DI, not going to be enough to kill though. And
an unsafe recovery from Mr. R, getting punished suitably by that down smash.
That's very uncharacteristic. Usually Mr. R, very methodical, goes for the safest option, which sometimes makes him a little bit prone to comebacks, right?
Yes.
And right there, just going for the stage. That's an interesting option, and Ken taking full advantage of that situation.
Now we see Mr. R kind of patiently waiting. He wants to chip on that damage and then probably get that forward tilt confirm into the up air to take this stock as early as possible.
Ooh, risky little bouncing fish, but
and there it is!
That, the 50-50, guessed correctly by Mr. R. No cross under, cross up needed, and it's looking like an even game again.
That it is.
Using that jabs to mend the holes in his pressure. Very well done by Mr. R. That's a little RPS that Sheiks always have to play. It's very important to keep up with that.
Yes. Characters like Sheik, Zero Suit Samus, other characters that pressure a lot with their aerials and have very safe aerials that don't rely on that range, but rather their landing frame data. They do that a lot.
Yeah, the jabs cover it up, exactly. And look at this, only 8% separating these two players. Ken gets a grab on a power shield. Mr. R just a little bit predictable with the timing there, but gets a little combo here and the spin dash to get out of it. Very well done by Ken. Look at this. Corner pressure, ledge trap first. And Ken just shooting all the way over there. That was an interesting maneuver.
And a beautiful reversal right there, landing with the spin dash into shield and then going for the grab.
Looks like Ken has a little bit of an upper hand so far this set. This game.
Reading the roll in. Unfortunately, doesn't get it.
Yeah, Mr. R looking to write a few new chapters to make sure that he doesn't get read on those kind of options and killed at these kind of percents. 84, that's not a good percent to die on.
Finally, Mr. R taking back the lead bit by bit. He's expanding it.
He's just controlling all the airspace with that neutral air. Such a lasting move. And the coverage it offers.
He air dodges back. Oh, but he reads attack and then misses out with the forward smash.
Look at that, Mr. R. He just found his momentum.
Yeah, he is playing confidently once again. Ken trying to catch the landing with that forward smash.
Ooh, Ken has so many power shields going.
He's gonna get the forward air. Is that gonna be enough?
It is! The reaction by Ken on the DI once again. And he keeps doing it, and it keeps working for him. Ken, such immaculate combo game, such immaculate approaches. Like, he opens up Mr. R like it's nothing. Usually, Mr. R is like a defensive behemoth. It's an impenetrable wall. But Ken's there. He's using the invincibility, the movement speed. He's even using the range in some cases with stuff like
back air.
Stuff like the back air, exactly.
Up air as well. Ooh, footstool already.
That was almost scary. Look at this, Mr. Arvo. He definitely still has the momentum on his side that he found at the end of last game. Look at this ledge trapping.
26% just from keeping him cornered at the ledge.
Oh, and Ken, I think he was trying to call out the roll, but was just a little bit too late. That is Sheik's back roll, probably the best in the game. Look at that, the back roll
so
once
far.
again coming clutch. So far and so fast. And the spring just keeps happening for Ken. Ooh, that's the speed right there. Catches the landings, another power shield. Ken is on one, getting those timings and really, really capitalizing on Mr. R's kind of repetitive pressure habits.
That said, though, Mr. R is not letting up whatsoever. Those back and forth rolls, I'm not quite sure what he was trying to coax Ken
like a
into.
Little bit of a, oh, the cross under and good DI.
Finally able to DI the cross up.
That was a pretty obvious cross up, so well done by Kenvo for recognizing it. Definitely one that he needed to DI correctly to survive. Yes. Another 50-50, another late up air by Mr. R, but just a little bit too early, I guess. And Ken is already out of 50-50%, and this is where it starts getting scary for Sheik.
Ooh. The trade. Ooh.
A little bit of a cheeky wall jump right there. And
oh, beautiful with the down smash and enough to take the stock. Only 48% on Mr. R.
You spin me right round, baby. And just like that, Sonic gives up his first stock. Such a good showing by Mr. R, and that really shows a lot about the caliber that Mr. R has as a player.
It is exceptional.
He grabs the momentum that he has and carries it through, and he discards the momentum that he drops and he lets it be.
That said, that was a really, really ambitious play from Ken, and it almost paid off, if not for a good get-up attack. Dust him off the ledge immediately!
That just scared the shit out of me. Very, very well done by Ken right there. Nice forward smash. Forward air to bouncing fish as well, and the offstage pressure early up B, but the magnet hands gonna be enough for Ken to make it back to the stage. Nice capitalization by Mr. Arvo, and look at these combos. Look at this.
Oh my goodness, that was ridiculous. The double chase from Mr. R.
Another wall jump, Ken. I mean, the trades are in his favor. That back air damage, nothing to scoff at.
Yeah. But of course, he does lose out on that stage control. Mr. R continues to pressure the ledge in those situations.
Oh, look at that. That falling forward air just going to deny all the cheeky spin dashes. And that's one of those things that Sonics really have to consider when they're on the ledge. Do I use my tricky movement to get off, but lack that kind of hitbox going for me? Or do I just play the normal ledge trap game? And nearly every time Sonic has been going for those tricky movements, Mr. R is there with a hitbox. And look
another
at
ledge trump bear. Not enough. It's a bit stale now.
Is it going to be the triple? Okay, he feinted the ledge trump to get some pressure here. Good DI by Kenvo.
Oh my goodness! That was so good!
The patience on my man's right there. The patience on Mr. R. So well done. That was no fear.
That was complete control in that end sequence. The conditioning that he had, going for the double trump, faking out the next one, getting the grab, and then getting those needles into the
double
bouncing
trump
fish.
out of nowhere. That definitely is a banger right there.
We're moving on to game 5.
keep starting off these games with this throw combo. It's a good little combo to rack percentage. It should be like 20%, something like that.
Yeah, 21.
Ooh. Mr. R, I mean, he's immediately on the back foot already, and look at Ken, he's just moving around the stage. Those platforms really gonna help him land, because rather than play around his poor landing aerials, he can use the platforms, land on that top platform, and pretty much be a lot safer than he would normally be, right?
Yeah, definitely. Using those platforms also, of course, augments the way that he's able to move around the stage. Of course, Sheik gets similar benefits, but I feel like for Sonic, it really shines through.
Yeah, for sure, and that's exactly why this is Ken's counter pick. Look at this. Those up air 50-50s also going to be a little bit less deadly than they normally would be on this stage.
Definitely.
Look at that. The dash grab and the weight on the air dodge gets a nice little bouncing fish there. Not much more in terms of momentum, though. Look at that. The cross-up. Ooh, the back air out of shield. And using those lasting hitboxes, those out-of-shield aerials to really pressure the spin dash movement. If Mr. R occupies the center stage, Ken cannot use those spin dashes to get past him, because he will be there with a back air, with a forward air, with a neutral air, and punish it dearly. Just look at this patient play right here, just feeling each other out, and the dash grab, Mr. R just strikes.
Nice, that time going for the instant nair, just to catch the jump off the ledge. Having, of course, already conditioned him to expect the ledge trumps.
Ken getting a nice little jab, Mr. R off stage, and like any situation in which Sheik is not in neutral is a good situation.
Excellent! Spot dodge to avoid the homing attack, and then punishes absolutely immaculately with that up smash.
And that is one of those situations in which you're like, I can pull out my once-in-a-set gimmick. That one time my opponent won't expect it. But Mr. R, he was ready.
He was
and that is
very ready.
So impressive, because he hasn't done that the entire set.
Yes.
Not even last set.
Oh, but up smash finally able to take it.
Put him in the blender, and there is the spring. Mr. R just kind of waiting it out. Excuse me. And look at that. Fresh stocks. Mr. R putting on the pressure, though, utilizing that invincibility, making Ken deal with pretty much an uncounterable opponent for a few seconds. And that momentum gets pushed through all the way, gets a little cross-up. Ken forced to roll out of it. Look at the platform pressure.
Mr. R was just dancing around him that entire sequence of about 30-40 seconds. 70% deficit from what was an even game before.
Mr. R is just feeling it. He's smelling the victory. Look at that. Ken, however, nice little power shield. Still fighting. Still fighting. And those power shields have been the story of Ken's wins.
Yes.
He's been finding those constantly. And the fact that he can still find those means that he's definitely not out for the count. Oh, look at the double jump to stall the pressure. Ken just being safe. He's rolling backwards. And
misses the neutral
is
air.
that a C-stick nair? We will never know. But at the end of the day, Ken getting out of that situation. And look at this neutral. Once again, a power shield this time into the jab. And Ken, he's just catching on to the timings more and more.
Bit by bit.
Tech chase. Normal get up. That is going to be grabbable on reaction. That is a nice spot air dodge on reaction to the bouncing fish. That is going to be a max range bouncing fish, which is a lot more reactable.
Not enough just yet.
Ken is holding on for dear life.
This, of course, is his tournament stock. He needs to make it count. He needs to find the life to really take this game.
Let's see how he goes about it. This is 100% deficit more by now, and the spin dashes are just getting shielded. Mr. R, with this kind of lead, he doesn't have to commit. Look at the reaction on the roll. He's still on point, and the dash attack is going to whiff. That's not going to do it for Ken. Does get the grab, but the mash is immediately getting Mr. R out of that scenario. Ken is just one step behind in these exchanges.
Yes, he's just playing that a little bit too slow. As the fastest thing alive, he needs to step it up.
Yeah, the blue blur. Got to show what he's made of. And instead of being very used to his needle timing that we saw earlier in the set, right now Mr. R is just mixing it up. He's hitting all the needles, and that little approach was not going to work out. A little bit of a side B misinput, but it's not going to get punished much by Ken. Look at this.
160 to 100 to 60%.
It's so tense. Oh, and then once again the mash. Mr. R is just on point with that. And the power shield.
Overextends.
Mr. R.
However, Mr. R should, I believe, take into account the time left. Less than a minute left. He can play this defensive poking game with these needles. He doesn't need to commit whatsoever.
And we actually saw Ken take a lot of the lead back when Mr. R was committing.
Yes.
And getting hit by a full spin dash.
Oh, another one.
The full spin dash. That's a lot of damage right there. And this is definitely Mr. R's game to lose right here. 30 seconds on the clock and a 60% lead. Mr. R, what is the game plan?
Goodness. The dash attack.
The dash attack. Mr. R.
Mr. R takes Syndicate 2017. He defends his title in a spectacular Game 5 set. Last hit between Ken, #1 in Japan. He now has the set advantage between these two fantastic competitors. What a show.
And not just defending his title, also defending Europe from the #1 invader, Ken. So well played by the Japanese Sonic. Very, very well done. But Mr. R in the end taking the W. Oh, so happy with that. Not even having to deal with the bracket reset. Very, very well done. A little bit iffy on the end there, but the clutch coming through. Nice dash attack. And look at that nice face there.
And there you have it, Mr. R doing his country proud. Your grand champion is Mr. R. Give it up one more time. But please don't go anywhere just yet because we still have the award ceremony left for doubles as well as singles. So can I get all the players that participated, that got top 3 in doubles, first of all, and then that got top 8 in singles on the stage, please.
Okay.
All right, well, it seems that we will be signing off to you lovely people at home. Thank you very much for tuning in to Syndicate 2017. I have been Silent Doom, and with me, of course,
Ramses, hello.
been an absolute pleasure. And yes, that'll be us.
It was really enjoyable, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
All right, don't be shy, guys. Come onto the stage, please. We're still looking for some players, I think. If you see someone that got top 8, please just shove him to the stage. All right, let's see. We're still missing Gluto. We're still missing Mr. R. Ken is here already. S1, get your ass to the stage. Come on. Mr. R, to the stage, please. Sorry. Who got third in doubles? Second guy. Oh yeah, I remember. It's okay, long. You got everyone. I think we might have everyone, basically. Okay, so first of all, the medals for the doubles contenders. Unfortunately, Longo already had to leave the building, so Schliger will be doing the honor of taking both medals. Just be sure to give it to him, yeah?
Sure. Surely I will.
Yeah, all right, don't sell it on eBay or anything like that. Okay, here we go. Both medals for Schliger. The one-man team. All right, getting second in doubles, the double corner extravaganza, being Space and Ramses. Here you go, guys. Your very own medal. There we go. And last but not least, the doubles grand champions facing off in grand finals, singles as well, are Mr. R and Ken. Even getting a nice trophy. Damn, son. All right. And now we are on to the medals for the top 8. We've got very own BYOC S1. And I feel like we're missing someone. Quick, yeah, where's Quick? Again! He left. Quick left already, unfortunately, but I'm sure the... Yeah, give it to Schliger as well. Look at this man, rocking 3 medals. You earned them all, my man. All right, then we are on to the 5th place finishes. In 5th, we have Purple H. Also in 5th, Dennis, I'm studying, my man. I know it's hard TOing and doing all other stuff while trying to compete as well, but you still got a very honorable placing. Give it up for ice studying. Ending in 4th, and this is actually amazing. 3 out of the top 4 players don't have a sponsor yet. That's crazy. But in 4th we have Scythe. And now the very own crowd favorite, Gluto. Got anything left to say? Let's go, Gluttony, give it up! Also gets a nice trophy. Yeah, and top 4 all get a nice, package of Jimmy Joy. Gotta get those protein bars, gotta stay fit. Gotta buff up. But now the last 2 guys standing are, like we already said, all the way from Japan, giving us a great showing with his Sonic. Please give a warm hand for Ken! Those trophies look good, my man. And last but not least, get over here. The middle point, let's go. Getting first in both doubles and singles. I want to hear the loudest yell this evening. Let's go, Mr. R. Loud and proud.
Give us one of these. Come on, Roman, do it. Give us one of these. Do it. Get Ken to do it. Ken, put him down. Just one. Just give us one.
And that's going to conclude it for Top 8 Smash 4 at Syndicate 2017. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next year.